I can't believe she posted another Get Ready With Me TikTok in my boots.
Easy, calm down before you ignite the hay bales. Now smile and give me that future champion look. Yes, perfect. Oh, no.
What? Do I have horse snot on my face again?
Worse, you've got Mom at 3 o'clock.
And there she was. I'm Sky. I grew up with a content creator mom who filmed everything, but somehow never had time to help me with homework. Not that I cared. I hated homework anyway. I just copied off Cody, my genius best friend, and the cute boy next door. He was my hype man, my partner in crime. And when we weren't dodging school drama or surviving Mom's meltdowns, we hung out at the local ranch where I rode horse, while he snapped pics for his blog. By the time I was 17, I was obsessed with horse racing. I dreamt of going pro one day, but Mom kept ruining everything. Mom! What on earth are you doing?
It's called content, darling. And this lighting is to die for.
Of all the places, you chose here? You just had to make this about you again. I'm supposed to be training, not dodging your glam squad and their ring lights.
Oh, please, Sky, you're not even that good at racing anyway.
Oh, she did not. I needed out. Out of her shadow, her nonsense, the whole glitter-infested circus. So I ran. No saddle, no helmet, no hesitation.
Sky, don't! That's a bad idea!
But it was too late. The horse was already fully locked in and ready to rocket me to another planet. I didn't care where I was going, just anywhere away from Mom. I rode into the woods, got scratched by every angry branch. Then my horse spooked at a creek and decided to toss me in it. So there I was, soaked and lying flat on my back. When I heard it, hooves. Then I suddenly heard a horse's neigh from afar. I looked up, and boom. A stunning black stallion and a man straight out of a perfume ad. Either I had a concussion, or I was being rescued by a real-life cowboy. He swung off his horse like a movie hero and walked right into the creek to lift me out.
You always ride like you've got a death wish?
Do I know you? Something about him was familiar.
Probably. I'm Maverick. And this is Thunderbolt.
No way! The Maverick? The Thunderbolt? Horse racing legends! Actual icons. They had more trophies than my mom had face serums. What were they doing in my dusty little world? As we walked back toward the ranch, I tried not to hyperventilate like a total fangirl. Okay, wow. You're Maverick. And I'm Sky. This is Buttercup. She hates water and authority. Also, I'm a huge fan. What are you doing in my town?
Wow, you talk a lot.
Adrenaline and admiration. Mostly adrenaline.
I'm helping organize the Dust Valley Classic. It's a regional qualifier for the Nationals.
Wait, that's happening here? At this ranch?
Yep, next month. Top riders, big money. Are you thinking of entering?
I mean, yeah, eventually. I've been training for years, but I didn't think something this huge would ever land here.
Well, it's here now, and judging by today, you've got guts. Now all you need is control.
I couldn't believe it. A major competition, organized by Maverick. Thunderbolt was also in the same barn as Buttercup. This is what my dreams were made of. I was up in the clouds, dreaming about winning the contest and becoming the world's best horse racer, when suddenly, I opened my eyes to see Mom was right in front of my face, fuming. Sky! Are you crazy? You could have died! I'm fine, Mom. Maverick helped me. The moment I said his name, Mom's face went pale and she took a few steps back. I'd never seen her like this.
Sky, we're leaving. Now!
But he literally saved me, and he's—
I don't care. Let's go.
She dragged me to her car despite all my protest. I tried questioning her on the way home, but she ignored me. Clearly, she was hiding something between her and Maverick. So naturally, I started digging. That night, I went down a Maverick rabbit hole. I watched every race, every interview, anything I could find. But hours later, I still hadn't found any connection to my mom. Not ready to give up, I called Cody and asked for his help. He was a genius, after all. Sure enough, the next day in class, Cody dropped a total bombshell.
Sky, I need to show you something.
He pulled out his phone and handed it to me. On the screen was a photo of Maverick holding a baby next to my mom. My stomach dropped. Shut the front door! Wait, where did you even get this?
Doesn't matter. Focus, Sky. You know what this means, right?
Oh, I knew. My mind was going to explode any second now. Yeah, Maverick might be my dad! Cody, you beautiful, crazy genius! Thank you! I flung my arms around him without thinking. And sure, we've hugged like a million times before, but this one felt different. It was warm, weird, and my heart, it was doing that flip thing.
So, what now?
I don't know yet, but this has to be why Mom was acting so strange that day. I need to get the real story first. And that's how it all began. I started going to the ranch every day, half for horse training, half for Operation Is Maverick My Dad? And let's just say, we got along really quickly. I was riding my horse Buttercup and jumping hurdles as Maverick watched and taught me.
You're pretty good for a rookie.
I'm not a rookie. I've actually been in some junior competitions.
Then maybe it's time to take another step up the ladder. If you're anything like me, you'll win on your first run.
That's such a dad thing to say. For a split second, I wanted to blurt out, "Are you my dad?" But I didn't want to jump the gun too soon. So I stayed quiet and waited for more solid evidence. For weeks, I trained like my life depended on it. Like every lap might unlock the truth. If Maverick didn't know I was his daughter, I was going to impress it out of him. But I got nothing. Even Cody thought I was crazy. I felt so frustrated having to keep this all inside. Maybe that's why I kept walking without even noticing where I was going.
Slow down, Sky. I'm worried about you.
I need him to see that I'm perfect enough to be his daughter.
Hey, look at me. You're enough, okay?
His hand was warm on my cheek, and my heart melted under his gaze. With Cody by my side, I felt unstoppable. Until a few days into the competition, boom. Huge entry fee. I was crushed. I tried talking to Mom, right in the middle of one of her ridiculous outfit sessions for her next iconic horse ranch photo shoot. But of course, she just got meaner.
You really think you're gonna win this thing? Don't be ridiculous, Sky.
I've gotten really good at it, Mom. Maverick even says,
"That's enough. Either drop out or figure it out on your own. I've given up enough already."
Then she walked away from me in one of those flashy outfits. Again. Ugh, couldn't she just hear me out a bit more? But I wasn't going to give up, so I headed straight to the one person I hoped would help. Where is Maverick?
He went out of town and won't be back for a few days.
No! He was my last hope! I tried calling him, but it went straight to voicemail. Devastated, I went to say goodbye to Buttercup. But then I saw Thunderbolt and had a brilliant idea. If I showed up with Thunderbolt, maybe the organizers would assume I was Maverick's daughter. Maybe they'd let me compete on credit. No questions asked. Not my smartest move. But I wasn't planning to keep him. I'd return everything right after. Too bad you already know how it ends. I didn't even make it out of the stable.
Are you trying to steal? After everything I've done for you, this is how you thank me? I'm calling your mother.
Wait! No, this isn't what I meant to do. I was just borrowing it. Please don't call my mom. I was shaking, but then I realized if Mom came, I might finally get the answers I'd been waiting for. Yeah, maybe you should call her. Who knows? I might just do it again anyway. Maverick hesitated, clearly confused, but he still went ahead and called my mom. Minutes later, Mom arrived, and as expected, she walked past Maverick.
Talia? Sky, I'm very disappointed in you. We will discuss this at home. I'm sorry, sir. Please forgive my daughter's behavior. I'll cover any damages. Goodbye.
With that, she tried to drag me to the car, but that wasn't the answer I was looking for. Wait a minute! I'm not going anywhere. Not until you both tell me the truth. They both turned, confused, and that only made me more annoyed. You don't have to keep pretending. I know, okay? I know Maverick is my dad. Both of them still didn't say anything. Maverick, I'm sorry I tried to steal Thunderbolt. I just wanted to prove myself. But I also hope that maybe, if you saw me win, you'd finally admit I'm your daughter. Then suddenly, they laughed.
You think I'm your father? That's hilarious.
I have proof. I showed them the photo from Cody's search, and that's when they looked at each other and realized I was serious.
Sky, let's take this outside.
We stepped outside. My heart was pounding. And then, she dropped it.
Sky, Maverick is not your father, and I'm not your mother. I'm actually your sister.
Wait, what? I froze, hoping I'd misheard her. Maybe she said something like that, but nope. She kept going.
Our parents died in a car crash when you were a baby. I was 17, barely an adult, but I couldn't let anyone take you. So I lied. I signed papers, moved us away, became Mom. And then I stayed that way because I didn't know how to undo it.
But
Maverick was my high school sweetheart. When our parents died, he was ready to help me raise you. But he was about to go pro, and I knew raising a child would take up all his time. all his focus. He wouldn't stand a chance at that life if he stayed with me. So I made the hardest choice of my life. I left, without telling him. That photo, it was taken the last day we were together.
So that's why you never let me ride? Because you didn't want to run into Maverick?
It wasn't fair to you, but yes.
My head was spinning. I'd spent my life calling her a bad mom while she gave up everything for me. Overwhelmed, I ran. I curled up on the old couch in the treehouse for hours. But of course, Cody found me. He didn't say anything when he climbed up, just sat beside me in silence and let me cry it out. Then I told him everything.
Wow, that's a lot.
I feel so humiliated. Maverick must think I'm stupid. And Mom? Talia. I've been so hard on her and I didn't even know the truth.
Hey, you are not stupid. Got it? You just wanted answers. And now that you have them, maybe it's a good thing.
I leaned my head on his shoulder, and somewhere between the weight of it all and the warmth of being seen, I fell asleep. Next thing I knew, a sharp neigh jolted me awake. I sat up, rubbing my eyes, and blinked. There, right below the treehouse, stood Maverick and Talia, and with them were Thunderbolt and Buttercup.
What? Sky, I know we have a lot to discuss, but right now, you've got a competition to win. So, let's go!
I still had so many questions. Like, how had she agreed to this? But all that could wait, because she was right. I had a competition to win. Everything happened fast after that. Turns out, Talia and Maverick had talked things through, and it seemed like he had forgiven me for what I did. In fact, he had already registered me as his protege, before I even tried to borrow Thunderbolt. The moment I mounted Buttercup, the noise faded. The doubts disappeared. It was just us and the track. A few minutes later, I crossed the finish line to the sound of the crowd exploding. Cody snapping a million photos, Talia and Maverick cheering in the stands. After the trophy ceremony, I was brushing Buttercup when Talia appeared quietly in the doorway.
You were incredible out there, Sky. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, Talia.
It feels strange hearing you call me that.
Before I could reply, she hugged me.
I'm sorry, Sky. I know I wasn't perfect, but all I ever wanted was to raise you like an actual mother.
I'm sorry, too. You did your best. I'm sorry for judging you. Things changed after that. Talia and I started being honest with each other. She and Maverick slowly started rebuilding their relationship. So who knows what the future holds for them? As for Cody, well, he filled the new school magazine with photos of me from the competition, and he's still the best boyfriend ever. And me? I'm still competing and still winning. Hey folks, my name is Avery, and what I'm about to tell you is the most bizarre story you've ever heard. So, buckle up. I was born in London to the sappiest parents ever. You know those TV parents who could never stay away from each other, not even for 5 minutes? Yep, that's my parents. And look, they're cute and all, but sometimes I kind of feel like a third wheel at home. That's why I've always wanted a sibling. Mom, Dad, I asked Santa to give me a baby for Christmas. I'm gonna be a big sister now.
Aw, really? How will the baby get here?
A big white stork will fly here and bring us the baby, of course.
Like in the fairy tale book?
Duh! How else? But of course, no big bird carrying babies showed up. After that, I tried nagging my parents so many times to give me a sibling, but all attempts were immediately brushed off like nothing. While I did learn to play by myself, I still couldn't help but wish for another member in our family. One of my favorite things to do was collecting weird-looking rocks. It was as if I were in an Indiana Jones movie. This one afternoon, when I was at the playground, picking rocks by myself, suddenly, ouch! Something stung my neck. It was a spitball. Ew! Who threw this?
I did. What are you going to do about it, weirdo?
This kid was a whole giant compared to me. He was like a grown-up man wearing a kid's face. Might as well walk away now before he does anything else, I thought. But just as I was about to turn away, another boy rushed in and stood between us, shielding me from the big kid.
Apologize to her now! Make me!
Hey, remember how it went at the dojo last week? Need me to remind you again?
Okay, I'm sorry, all right?
Then the bully took off running. The boy and I couldn't help it. We burst into laughter. Wow! Did you really beat that kid up? He's a whole giant!
Well, it was only for practice at the dojo. I have a black belt and he's just lazy. Anyway, what are you doing?
I am picking rocks. The coolest looking one gets added to my collection.
Rocks? Is this one cool enough?
Yeah, totally. And that was how I met my best friend, Joe. He was 2 years older, so it was just like truly having a big brother. Someone who was always there for me, stood up for me, and protected me. An unbreakable superhero. With his bright personality and black belt in martial arts, Joe was always one of the cool kids. When I became a freshman at high school, Joe was already a senior. Although we hung around different cliques, Joe still looked after me and made sure I was never lonely.
There's a party tonight at the Cove. You coming?
Ugh, loud music, girls all over you saying things like, "Oh, Joe, look at my fluttering eyelashes." Hard pass.
Nobody has ever said that.
They might tonight.
All right, point taken. What's your plan for tonight, then?
Gonna sleep early so I can save energy for the school's Science Week's fair tomorrow. Now that sounds like fun to me. You coming?
Sure, if I don't oversleep tomorrow.
Good luck then. Enjoy your party. Bye. The Science Week event was everything I'd imagined. I could spend an entire day here and I would never get bored. One particular stall was getting crowded.
As part of this year's Science Week, we'll be running a fun DNA test to help students explore just how interconnected humanity is. One quick buckle swab and who knows? You might find out if one of your schoolmates could be your distant relative. Plus, all participants will get bonus credit on their next science test. Do I get an instant A if it turns out I'm related to the principal then?
Sounds good enough. Let's go. I signed us both up without even a split second of hesitation. I'd always wanted a sibling, but a distant cousin didn't seem too bad either. Obviously, this was mostly for fun. But, just what if? I was still in dreaming mode when I got home. It was as if that childhood wish had come back to me at full force. Mom, Dad, remember when I used to ask you for a baby?
Shh, not now, honey. The show's on.
What about our other family members then? Do I have any cousins? What are they like?
Avery, you know it's just the three of us on our own.
Right, so I have to explain this to you. As sappy and happy as my family was, my grandparents were never really in the picture. They didn't approve of my parents' marriage. I couldn't find out why because Mom and Dad always avoided the topic. Yet sometimes, I still couldn't help but become annoyingly curious about my extended family. My grandparents, my cousins? Who did I inherit my weird taste in hobbies from? Later, I was chatting on a video call with Joe. "So, I saw you flinch today when the nurse swabbed your cheek. Thought you were gonna throw a roundhouse kick."
Yeah, as if. She swabbed me like I owed her money. But enough about me. Did you break the news to your parents about how you might be related to half the school yet?
Mom and Dad are already tired of my questions about long-lost family. They keep trying to change the subject. It's getting frustrating.
Well, at least there's two of them to ask. I don't even know who my dad is.
We fell into silence. Family was also a sensitive topic for Joe. It had always been just him and his mom. She worked as a Broadway stage designer, which meant she was constantly traveling outside of London. Since he was little, she'd sent him to live with her best friend. Any time they had together at all was already rare, so Joe tried not to bring up the questions about his dad. Ever. Do you still think about your dad sometimes?
Honestly, more than I'd like to admit. It's not that I don't appreciate Mom for all the extra effort she's put in just for me. I do, but sometimes I see kids walking and laughing with both their parents, and there's this small ache in my chest. I know it's pointless, but still, there's always the question of, what if?
Well, I think he's a jerk for walking away. Whoever he is, it's his loss for missing out on a son as great as you.
Thanks. Anyway, it's getting late. Good night, Avery.
Yeah, good night. After the call with Joe, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept drifting back and forth. I knew he missed his mom terribly, and even though he acted nonchalant, the absence of both his parents still weighed on him. I always felt that Joe's protectiveness toward me since childhood was his way of compensating for not having a father figure, by being a big brother to me. With all my wishful thinking about miracles and families, things were slowly becoming complicated. We got an email notification from the DNA test one day after school. We immediately opened our laptop, eagerly waiting for the results to pop up, only to be met with a complete shock.
That can't be right.
That's impossible. Are we related? The bombshell had dropped. In front of us on the laptop screen were 2 link trees. According to the site, Joe was my brother. I felt dizzy. It had to be a mistake.
Hey, kids, didn't know you were back. Why do you both look like you saw a ghost?
Dad, is this possible? I looked at Joe, then at my dad, and on their faces, I saw the similarities I'd never noticed before. Now, suddenly so obvious. When I pointed at the screen, I caught the panic in my dad's eyes. It wasn't an error then.
Joe, As in Josephat? Your mother is Celine? I thought you said her name is Anne. Anne Celine. Only family calls her Celine. I don't understand. Are you my dad? Josephat, I didn't know.
What is happening?
I thought I heard voices. What's going on?
Mom, you should probably sit down for this. I was overwhelmed. My eyes were blurred with tears, and as I looked up at Mom, expecting her to be just as shocked as Joe and me, my stomach dropped. Her calm expression said it all. She already knew. They both knew my dad had another child, and they both kept it a secret. I looked over at Joe, and he was sobbing. His whole body was shaking, and I'd never seen him look so vulnerable, so broken.
Was it true then? Did you run off the moment I was born? Joe, I don't know what to say, except to apologize.
I never even knew my dad's face. How could you leave a newborn and the mother of your own child like that? Why?
Joe, I'm sorry, I was too young. I didn't know any better. I freaked out, and I never meant to hurt you or your mom. Please let me make it up to you. Make up how? And my mom? How are you going to make up for her broken heart and all the years we lost? Son, please. You don't get to call me that. And I don't have to accept your apology either. This is too much. I need to get out of here.
I wanted to run after Joe, but my entire body was still numb. A quiet but lingering, painful feeling of betrayal was drowning me. Mom pleaded with me to hear them out. She kept explaining how, shortly after meeting her, Dad realized his cowardice and wanted to make things right with Joe's mom. They both tried to reach out and offer their support, but she declined and insisted on cutting all ties. They kept trying again and again until they were finally forced to stop when she suddenly moved far, far away. The image of the loving dad I'd known my whole life clashed with a picture of a runaway jerk who had abandoned Joe and his mom, leaving me completely speechless.
Avery, sweetie, please say something.
I need to be alone right now. I couldn't look at either of them in the eyes. Not anymore. Poor Joe. He had always been there for me. Always my superhero when I needed one. Now, it was my turn to be there for him. Sharing the same roof with my parents right now felt suffocating. And so, I packed my bags and hoped Joe would still let me in. Hey, thought you might want some company. Got a spare room for your little sis? That night, we called Joe's mom and told her what we'd found out. She confirmed everything, including my parents' constant attempts to reach out. Hearing it from her directly, watching how she'd moved on and could now speak about the past without bitterness, I was in awe of her strength. And I was relieved to see Joe had calmed down too. It might take time, maybe a long while, but for the first time, I was starting to believe that, somehow, things would turn out all right. To cheer up her son, Joe's mom gave us our dad's parents, aka our grandparents' home address, and told us to come visit them. I was a bit nervous on our way there, but they were just the kindest people ever. Their faces lit up when they heard Joe and I were both their grandchildren, and instantly pulled us into a warm hug.
Oh, dear Josephat. We thought we might never get to see you again. Grandpa, Grandma, I'm home. And look at you, Avery. Our granddaughter is such a pretty lady.
My grandma is such a beauty, too. After spending the day with a long-lost family I'd finally found, I could almost feel my heart double in size from all the chats and laughter. As for Joe, I caught a glimpse of his teary eyes before he quickly wiped them away. But this time, I knew that they were happy tears. It must have been a long time since he was surrounded by so many loved ones. I still thought about my parents every now and then. I found myself imagining what life would have looked like if Joe had been a part of our family from the start. I was also surprised to realize that I wasn't as mad at them anymore. Dad running away was a messed up thing to do, but he and Mom owned up to their mistake, and ever since, they've poured everything they had into trying to make things right. Even after I left to stay with Joe, they texted me constantly, refusing to give up on our family. When we returned from the trip to our grandparents, I knew it was time for me to go home. If there's one thing I'd learned from everything that happened, it's that no one should ever turn their back on their family. It's good to see you smiling again, big bro. Take care, okay? I'll text you tonight, and see you at school tomorrow.
Right back at you, little sis. Try not to get into trouble when I'm not around ya. See you soon.
As I walked away, I suddenly stopped in my tracks, turning around and... totally get it if you think it's weird to ask. But, do you...
Can you, let your parents know I've thought things over? And that I wouldn't mind sitting down to talk with them.
You sure? I mean, you really don't have to, you know?
Yeah, Mom's not mad anymore, so I already feel a lot lighter. And plus, this is my shot to find out how life's gonna be when that what-if question I'd always asked myself comes true.
Sure, I'll pass on the good news. Growing up and making mistakes go hand in hand. But the important thing is to acknowledge the consequences you left behind, and to always strive to be a better version of yourself, one deserving of forgiveness and happiness. At the end of the day, our mistakes make up our identity as a person.
Bye, Auntie. I waved to her. I promise I'll be fine at home alone. That's good. I'll be back soon, Bee. Then she left. That's my Auntie Anna. I was staying with her while my parents were on vacation. I was about to walk back into the living room when the doorbell rang, so I immediately ran to the door and looked through the peephole. Ah! It was Mom! I quickly opened the door and rushed out to hug her tightly. Mommy! How come you're back so early? Mom stroked my hair and softly said,
Oh, sweetie, I came to pick you up. How can I leave my little princess alone? Now, hurry up and pack your things.
I gave a confused look. But Auntie Anna's at the grocery store. Shouldn't we wait for her? She shook her head.
No, sweetie. I already called her.
So we quickly packed my things, and Mom led me outside to a rather old car, which was completely different from our usual BMW. Mom, where's Dad? This isn't our car. I asked her. She knelt in front of me and smiling said,
Daddy's waiting for us at the beach. It's going to be lots of fun.
I jumped up and down excitedly. Yay! I couldn't wait to build sandcastles and splash in the sea. This was so cool. On the way, I must have fallen asleep, as when I opened my eyes, it was already dark outside. I got out of the car and looked around. Where was the ocean? All I saw was some small house in an unfamiliar neighborhood.
Beatrice, this is our new home. Just you and me from now on.
Mom's sudden words totally woke me up. Mom, why? What about Dad? I stammered.
Listen, I'm sorry. I can't explain it to you at the moment. You're too young to understand.
I had so many questions flying around my head, but looking at Mom's sad face, I knew I shouldn't ask her anymore. The next morning, I woke up excited and curious about our new beginning here. I opened the curtain and saw a group of kids my age playing across the street. So, without thinking, I rushed outside to join them. Hello, I'm Beach. Suddenly, my mom came out of nowhere, a frantic look on her face as she shouted,
I've told you to stay inside!
And pulled me back home. Everyone was gawping at us, including the man who lived across the street. It was so embarrassing. As soon as the door slammed shut, in a serious tone, she said,
We just moved here. You shouldn't make friends with strangers that fast. And don't talk too much about yourself, okay?
Mom had never minded me playing with other kids before, so why now? This didn't make any sense. After that, she only let me out of the house for school, and she always kept an eye on me, so that's why I couldn't make any friends here. I resented her so much. I was so lonely. One good thing about it was she didn't have any house rules, so I could spend all day watching cartoons while eating junk food, and she didn't mind at all. This was great, as before we moved here, Mom and Dad never let me do stuff like this. But eventually, I got sick of those junk foods. I felt kinda icky. I longed for Mom's special spaghetti with crab sauce, so I begged her to make it. At first, she refused, saying that she was very busy, so I kept on whining until she finally agreed. Later, I went to the kitchen for dinner, and the room was an utter chaos. Pots and pans everywhere. Mom looked messy too, as she passed me a plate of spaghetti and meatballs instead of her signature dish. Well, okay, it looked delicious anyway, so I took a full fork of it as Mom watched on. Poof! Water! I need water! Gosh, it's so salty. Mom quickly replaced my pasta plate with a box of fried chicken and said,
Today I'm busy, so I was a bit distracted. Sorry, honey.
Her awkwardness made me laugh. Nah, it's okay, Mom. Mom did seem really busy lately, as her phone was always buzzing. The calls even came late at night when I was asleep, so she always quietly went out to answer it. Guess it's hard being a single mom after all, so I tried to be more understanding. And just like that, time passed. Staying inside and having no friends became the norm for me. Still, I often sat by the window and stared longingly at the kids playing outside. Then one time, when I was doing this, Mom appeared and asked me if I wanted to go to the nearby amusement park. Wow, could there be anything better than this? I leaped up, clapped excitedly, then wrapped my arms around her. Honestly, the park was pretty small, and everything seemed kinda tired looking. But this didn't matter, as it was the best day I'd ever had. Mom never used to like rides or games, but today was different. She even got excited when she saw the beanbag throwing stall. She knocked the tins down in one go and won me this giant cuddly bunny. I've never seen her have fun like this before. My mom is so cool. Afterward, Mom left me sitting on a bench and she went off to get some ice cream. Suddenly, I saw her rushing back, and without ice creams. She pulled on my hand and in an urgent tone said, "We need to go home. We're moving." So we packed up our things and left in a rush. I kept on asking Mom what was going on, but she dodged my questions. During the car journey, I heard her mutter to herself, "We're going somewhere new. It'll be exciting. A new adventure. Yes, it'll be fine this time." I may have been young, but I wasn't stupid. I knew she was hiding something. But she's my mom, and I didn't want to upset her by bugging her with questions. So I stayed quiet and eventually fell asleep. Once again, I woke up in an unfamiliar place and stared out of the window. I wasn't as bothered about this place as I was about the last. I didn't want to get too attached to it, as I didn't know how long it'd be before Mom made us move again. But there was one thing that bothered me. Across the street was a man looking straight at our new house. He looked identical to our previous neighbor. Maybe he'd just moved here too? What a coincidence! I mentioned the man to Mom, but she told me she didn't know him, and then sternly told me never to interact with him. At school, I was the strange kid who didn't talk to anyone. The older I got, the worse this felt. And the other kids laughed at me, and I heard them call me weird behind my back. I felt so lonely and depressed. So at home, I often just sat by the window with a book and tried to pretend that the adventures I was reading about were happening to me. Worse still, Mom was acting even odder than usual. The other day when I got home from school, I found her chucking perfectly good food out of the fridge. Some were even brand new. I asked her what she was doing, and she replied, "It's gone off, so I'm getting rid of it." Then she started scrubbing the fridge. "The smell won't go. Why won't it go?" What was she talking about? Everything seemed fine. What's happening? Then I discovered that Mom often left the house late at night and didn't return till dawn. I knew if I asked her about this, she wouldn't say anything. So that night, I snuck out and followed her. Mom was wearing dark clothes with a hat and a big scarf covering her face, even though it's not that cold outside. Why the disguise? Then, can you believe it? I spotted her going over to the neighbor's house and cuddling him on his porch. I jumped out of the darkness and shouted, "Mom, what's going on? I thought we weren't meant to talk to this man." She gave me an alarmed look. At that moment, Mom received a text. In a panicked voice, she said to me, "Beatrice, we have to go. Now! I'll explain everything later, I promise." Right after that, the mysterious man waved at us and told us to get in his car. Then he sped through the night. After regaining my senses, I turned to my mom and asked, "I hope this explanation is good." Actually, we're in danger, honey. It's your dad. He's an imposter. I only figured this out when I was on vacation with him, and I've been running from him ever since." What? I'd never suspected my dad of being someone else. It made no sense. Then, through sobs, my mom continued to say that my real dad was actually a member of a secret organization, but he had been missing for a while, and now the organization was after us. She often received anonymous messages and calls threatening her. She didn't want me talking to strangers in case they were spies. And those times when she threw all the food out was because she'd received texts threatening to poison the food in our house. She wiped her tears away, then said, "This is Joe.
We went to college together and he's been such a help. We fell in love, but I didn't dare tell you because I was afraid you wouldn't understand.
I looked at this Joe guy. I don't know. There was something off about him, but maybe I was just being paranoid. I mean, he had helped Mom out, right?
Ah! What's that? Ever since I found out about the secret organization, I've been kinda jittery. What if they suddenly turn up and take me and my mom away? I know Mom's worried too, as she seems so distant. I just want to make things better for us both. Then Christmas arrived. It was quite the special one, as for the first time since we went into hiding, we had guests. Well, one guest, Joe. We raised our glasses for a Merry Christmas, but instead of putting it down, my mom gulped it back in one go. Mom, are you drinking tonight? I asked skeptically. Of course, my dear. It's Christmas. Let me tell you, I'm no less than a man when it comes to drinking. I chewed on my lip as I thought about this. Mom had an alcohol allergy, and at the most, she only had tiny sips. Suddenly, a thought came to mind. Maybe Dad wasn't the imposter after all. Maybe it had been Mom all along. She enjoyed the roller coaster rides, though to my recollection, Mom was afraid of heights. She couldn't cook. She now loved Joe, a strange man, and she could have downed alcohol without being ill. If this was true, then who could I trust now? Something wasn't right. I could feel it in my gut. So the next day, I secretly went to the cops instead of school as usual. Then I found out something crazy. Turns out, my real parents had been looking for me for over the past 6 years. OMG! As for the mother I was living with, who was she? I tried to stay calm while waiting for the police to contact my parents first. And as soon as they got there, the three of us broke down in tears. That's when my real mom told the whole truth. Actually, she had a twin sister called Linda. No one had ever known about Linda, as due to her debt problems, my grandpa rejected her and forbade her to ever show up in front of anyone in the family. But my mom couldn't disown her own twin, so she secretly gave her money. Then one time, Linda was asking for too much that Mom turned her down. Unexpectedly, she came and took me away to pressure my mom to send her more money. During that time, my mom kept transferring her money to make sure I'd be provided for. She hadn't given any information about Linda to the cops, though, because Mom still wanted to talk to her first, though, so that her sister wouldn't end up in trouble. Wow, this was a lot to take in. After that, Mom ran over to Dad, who's in line to talk to the police. She grabbed his hand and begged him to give Auntie Linda a chance. As you see, I missed out on having a normal childhood because of my aunt, and what she did was wrong. But there's a part of me that will always care for her, as she raised me for all these years. And my heart urged me to say, Dad, I didn't want to turn her in either. My dad looked at me hesitantly, but in the end, he nodded in agreement. So we decided to deal with it ourselves without the intervention of the police. Then, the next day as planned, I was in the front yard with my fake mom when her identical twin marched up to our house and confronted her. Once my Auntie Linda got over the initial shock, she confessed everything to me. It was sad, but glad that it's all over now. Mom paid off her sister's debts with one condition, that she would never, ever get near me again. Now I'm back home with my actual parents. It's going to take some getting used to, as I've forgotten how to make friends. And going outside alone makes me nervous. Looks like the memories of the adventure with my uninvited Aunt Linda might follow me for quite some more time. I know I have to try and move forward. I can't get back the past 6 years, but I can do my best to try and embrace the future.
There were just 3 of us in the theater. We were absolutely enjoying the movie when suddenly Dave's mom and his sister popped up on the screen.
Faye, what is this? Megan, my daughter and I will stop doing what you say.
Hey guys, I'm Faye. If you're wondering what all that was, just keep watching because I'm going to tell you a truly fascinating life story. My mom was a famous actress who wished for a daughter to carry on her legacy, but when she couldn't get pregnant, she decided to adopt. First came Megan. Then, 6 years later, she brought me home, Faye. Ever since I had known, Megan was anything but an actress. Pretty, sings well, great dancer, and even acted pretty well, but only when no one was watching. The moment she stepped out in front of a crowd, she either started blabbering or completely froze up. Well, I've seen enough. Get the car. Come on down, Megan. It was clear that Mom had high hopes for Megan and worked hard to shape her into something special. But when Megan couldn't meet those expectations, the disappointment showed. And maybe it spilled onto me. She started spending less time with us, even on our birthdays. When everything around us felt distant, Megan would always make sure I still felt loved. She was the sweetest big sister anyone could ask for. Who's turning 8 today? A little birdie said, "It's a fairy." Is it you? Is it you? No, silly, you! And just like that, Megan stepped in and filled the space Mom had left behind. Soon, I was 16, all bold and talkative. At school, I was my own queen, ruling the news club at school with friends who shared my passion. All went well, until one night, Mom decided to take us to one of her late-night parties. Every time we went to those parties, we felt like outsiders. There were so many familiar faces we'd seen on TV, but no one to talk to. All we ever wanted was to just go home. I'm too sleepy. Are you? Not really. I just can't stand the noise. But hey, let's find a place for you to sleep. Mom won't even notice. We wandered off and found a small spot to rest near the drinks corner. Megan fell asleep in seconds while I was searching for a snack on the counter. Suddenly, I heard someone's voice.
Poor kid. Probably snuck in for free food with someone. Wonder who let her through.
Seriously, I can't believe people still do these for free food and drinks. And they were pointing at me. Unbelievable. Instead of standing up for me as her daughter, Mom sided with someone else, talking behind my back like I was a stranger. I was furious. She shouldn't have dragged Megan and me along in the first place if she was going to act like that. Fine, I'd give her one more reason not to bring us here again. Mom, you promised we could take home lots of snacks, but this was the last bag of chips. Where did you see the other bags? You should have seen the pale look on her face when the others stared at her. That should teach her. Mom immediately walked out, clearly embarrassed. I grabbed Megan and followed her. I was sure from then on, Mom wouldn't dare take us out anywhere. But I was so wrong. The very thing I feared happened. I can't believe it. Faye, the way you talked, that loud, bold act you did, commendable. Truly an actor's daughter. An actor's daughter? Oh my god. From that day on, she started dragging me to auditions, acting classes, and even events I couldn't care less about. It was like I had become her new project overnight. Only then did I finally understand the pressure Megan had been under all those years. The endless expectations, the constant training. Faye, get ready, darling. You're coming to the shoot today. The producers are going to be there. This dress is nice, but it doesn't make you look perfect. Try the red one I brought you last night. Faye, did you watch how I said my lines, darling? You can always stop me at any point to learn. I know, but I went along with it for a while because at least I had Megan at home to cheer me up. But soon enough, she had to move out to start her own life. Your workplace is only 3 hours away. Can't you just drive back and forth? A little birdie once said, you can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't harm anyone. Is it you? Yeah, I did say that once, but this harms me. Yep, now I was all alone, right under Mom's radar 24/7. What could be more harmful than that? I was deep in thought in the news club room, my little safe space, until Duty came knocking. Did you cover the story of Dave, the poorest boy in school? That was the most expected last week, President. I don't know. That guy is new. It just doesn't feel right. But she dragged me to the cafeteria anyway, where I saw someone digging the trash cans. Is this Dave? Yes. Isn't he interesting? Let me get this on video. Stop! Just the thought of filming him like that felt horrible. I sent her away and went closer to Dave.
I'm sorry, I think I just dropped something in.
Dave, I know all about you. And you know what? From tomorrow, you're sitting with me at lunch. My lunch isn't great, but I can be pretty good company. Deal? He nodded and smiled. From that day on, Dave and I became inseparable. We shared lunches, stories, and laughs. In a way, Dave became my escape from the suffocating world Mom had thrown me into. Mom's "just come with me" turned into "just try acting in this little scene" very soon. Even though I didn't like it, deep inside I knew it mattered to her, so I gave it a shot. And it didn't come out that bad, really.
Cut!
That was fun, wasn't it?
I'm so proud of you, my darling. You don't know how much I've wanted this.
I tried to be happy for her, but then one day something strange happened that changed everything. One day on set, Mom was getting ready inside the trailer when suddenly,
Let me in! I have to find that woman! You! Where is my daughter? What do you mean? I don't even know who you are. Oh, save the act. You're good at that, aren't you? You promised my daughter a chance to become a famous actress, but you made her work like an unpaid servant, and then you decided she wasn't talented enough? You tossed her aside without paying her a single penny. She was humiliated. She ran away because of you. I want my daughter back, and the money you owe her.
Mom froze. She glanced at me and quickly turned away. What was going on? Was my mom a liar? A scammer? Or worse? Before I could process it all, she snapped her fingers at her assistant, who hurried to drag the woman out and swept the incident under the rug. My mind just couldn't rest. I walked to my mom's room that night to confront her. There has got to be something I need to know. But then what I heard shook me hard. Mom was talking to someone over the phone.
I don't want to see her again. Finish off the case in the next 24 hours. I'll pay you as usual.
OMG! Why was she sounding like a mafia boss? Was she even my mom? That night changed my impression of her. I called Megan and told her the whole story, and she was scared even more. So you're telling me she tried to shut that woman up? For real? Yeah, she sounded like a different person. I feel like we should have seen this coming. You know how Mom's obsessed with finding someone to carry on her so-called legacy? She lures girls in with promises of fame, then dumps them the moment they don't meet her standards. Just like she did to me. Be careful, Faye. My heart was pounding painfully in my chest. Megan's words haunted me. I wanted to share it with my best friend Dave, but he wouldn't pick up. Almost a week passed. I'd been too caught up with Mom to talk to Dave. I planned to catch him at school the next morning. But then, what awaited me there was unbelievable. I went to class hoping to talk to Dave, but he wasn't there. Worried, I started asking around. Some students told me he hadn't been to school for the past few days. Apparently, he'd been looking for his sister. She had vanished after trying to make it as an actress. My stomach instantly dropped. Could it be connected to Mom? Without a second thought, I rushed straight to Dave's house. It was a small, secluded place, tucked away from the main road, and only his grandmother was inside.
You're David's friend? He's gone. First, his little sister vanished. They said she was going to be an actress. Promised us she'd be famous and rich. But now, nothing. She ran away. And then his mom ran off to find her, and now Dave. He's gone too.
Then she broke down crying. I tried to comfort her, but inside, my thoughts were spiraling. The woman who stormed onto the set, was she Dave's mother? If what Grandma said was true, then everything pointed back to one person, my mom. I had to know the truth. Mom wasn't home, so I crept into her room, searching for clues. And there it was, a notebook, with letters tucked deep in the drawer. And holy moly, those letters were all from Megan. All of them spilling hatred on Mom. I hate you for always abandoning me. I know you think Faye is better than me, but I'll ruin it. I'll turn her against you. I'll make sure she hates you forever. Has Megan always felt like this way? Just because Mom chose me to act instead of her? And she was trying to sabotage our relationship? Beneath those letters was Mom's diary. I hesitated, but then opened it. Then suddenly, my phone rang. It was Dave. Dave, you're okay? Where have you been?
Faye, I was searching for my mom and my sister, and I discovered something big. Meet me at the old bus station. I can't talk over the phone.
What was Dave talking about? Did this have something to do with Mom? After I came back from meeting Dave, my head was spinning. I walked into the living room. Mom was home now, reading some magazines and drinking her favorite tea. Mom?
Yes, honey?
We need to talk. I found these letters from Megan and your diary. Her face turned pale. I also met Dave earlier. He told me that his mom was the one who came to your trailer that day.
Dave's mom? But why?
His mom and his sister had been hired by someone to sabotage you. And by someone, I mean Megan.
Why would she do such a thing? What have I done to my daughter?
I had never seen Mom like this before. The woman I always thought was strong now looked completely shattered. You're not a bad mom, just someone carrying too much pressure. You were so focused on your legacy, you forgot that we're not your perfect little creations. We're your family.
I'm so sorry, Faye. And to Megan, too. I just wanted to give you both everything I never had, but...
I understand, Mom. But we can't run away from this anymore. I'll help you. We'll talk to Megan and fix this. She smiled, and then we hugged tightly. Then I decided to visit Megan. Maybe, deep down, I wanted to give her a chance to confess. So you came here all by yourself? How sweet. Yeah, so what's new, sis? Nothing much, just work. Okay, but I've got some news. My friend Dave told me that his sister went missing and they're looking for her.
Oh, really? Have they found her? Not yet. That's bad. I hope they can find her, though. She acted like nothing was wrong. Since Megan clearly wasn't going to admit anything on her own, I decided it was time to ask Dave for a favor. With Dave's help, I came up with the perfect plan. That night, I rented out an entire movie theater just for the three of us. We watched a heartwarming family film together, a gentle reminder of how beautiful a family can be. And at the very end, a little surprise I had carefully planned. Faye, what is this? Megan, my daughter and I will stop doing what you say. We both owe your mother an apology, and we refuse to accept any payment from you. As for you and your mom, you should give each other a chance to explain and truly listen. That's the best way to start making things right between you. The video ended. The room fell into a heavy silence. Megan was about to run, but I held her hand and gave her mom's diary. Megan, I read your letters. I know you feel like mom chose me over you, but you never really told us how much it hurt. You should look at this first. Megan paused, then sat down, flipping through pages of the diary, with tears in her eyes. I wasn't surprised by Megan's reaction. In her diary, Mom had poured her heart out, admitting that she'd been selfish, that it broke her to see Megan turn against her after everything she'd done. More than anything, she wanted us to know how deeply she loved us both, and how desperately she wished to make things right. Mom, is this? I'm so sorry, Megan. I thought I was protecting you from the same failures I faced, but I didn't see what was behind the curtain and ended up failing you both. Megan, Faye, you are and always will be my daughters. I love you both. I'm sorry, Mom. And Faye, I tried to turn you against Mom because I couldn't face my own pain. It's okay, big sis. We can start over. For the first time, we truly understood each other. We can't erase the past, but we can rewrite the future as a messy, complicated, but healing family. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. After that chaotic night, Dave checked in on me in the sweetest, most unexpected way.
Is everything okay, Faye?
Yeah, everything's all right now. Thanks, Dave. How can I pay you back?
Awesome. How about a date?
Just one date? You're aiming too low, mister.
What's up, guys? I'm Avery from Queens, and over there is my mom. Not to brag, but she is a real-life superhero. Have you ever seen any single mom who had to work 3 jobs and only sleep for 4 hours a day, but still is always cheerful like that? Avery, darling, come see. I got the dress you wanted. Really? But it costs a whole week of your salary. Don't worry about that, dear. If it makes you happy, then it's totally worth it. Thank you so much. Let's do a play. Yes, you'll be a perfect Cinderella. My mother and I always had the most fun together. Doing role plays and scrapbooking were our favorite things. Although she usually fell asleep on the couch before we finished any activities, she was still the best mom I could ever ask for. There was nothing that could separate us. Ever. Until that day. I got home from school and my mom wasn't there yet, so I took a nap while waiting for her. But when I woke up, the whole house was in chaos. And there was so much smoke fumes that I barely saw a man approaching.
I found the child! Evacuate now!
What? What is happening? Where is my mother? I managed to grab my scrapbook before we went outside, and I saw Mom looking so distraught. Avery! Oh my God, I am so sorry, baby! What is going on? Why are you in handcuffs? Mom? Mom! I kicked and screamed, but the policeman didn't let me go. I helplessly watched as my mother was led into a van while our home burned to ashes. Then they sent a social worker to come and get me. Why is my mother getting arrested? For child endangerment and neglect. Look at your house. She caused the fire. No! She probably just fell asleep while cooking. She must be too tired from all the work. She is not a bad mom, please. I am sorry, darling, but that is not for me to say. The judge will decide, and in the meantime, we'll put you in foster care. Don't worry, I have the perfect home for you. You will love it there. Ugh, this is so unfair. My mother was sleeping in a cell just because she wanted to make food for me? I'd rather be with her right now than wherever this car is taking me. We're here. I got out of the car to see a huge mansion. It's like I just stepped into a palace. And the bigger surprise was the foster parents waiting for me. The Smiths. They were one of the biggest couples in Hollywood, who always appeared on TV for their good deeds and the happy foster home they built for children. Time magazine called them the kindest hearts in the country. But if they thought putting me in a nice house would make me stop fighting for my mom, they were dead wrong.
Nice to meet you, Avery. We're so sorry about what happened and promise that you will be well taken care of in our home.
Hello, Avery. Aren't you a lovely girl? You can call me Mom.
I will not. I have a mom.
Right. Look, I understand that this is difficult, but
Why does it have to be difficult? My mother only made a mistake. Why can't I be with her? She's better than all of you.
whoa, calm down. Don't say that before meeting our kids. They're wonderful.
I turned to see 3 children there. They all looked quiet and shy, except this girl.
Hello, my name is Desi. Welcome to our home. That's Martin, and the little cutie over there is Ryan. And of course, Miss Helen, our nanny. We're very happy to have you here with us.
We will let you guys get to know each other. We have some business to handle right now. See you later.
When the Smiths left with a social worker, the air in the room changed. I could tell the kids felt happier and more relaxed. Desi kept talking nonstop. Martin cracked his first smiles, while little Ryan ran into Nanny Helen's arm, and she held him so gently that it made me miss my mom so bad. They looked like a real family, and I was just an outsider. Finally, Helen took me to my room, and I could only hold my tears until she wished me good night and closed the door. I cried so hard that night, feeling so lonely and miserable that I couldn't sleep. No, I can't stay here. I need my mom. So, the next morning, I got an idea. I looked at my beautifully decorated room and started to rip it apart. Surely, if the Smiths saw how disobedient I was, they would send me away, back to my mom, right? When I was done, I opened the door to find the kids and Nanny Helen standing there in shock. What are you looking at? Go on, tell your parents that I'm a monster.
You all right? You didn't accidentally hurt yourself, did you?
It's okay, Avery. Let us help you clean this up. You can wait here. It won't take long.
No! Why are they acting like that? They're supposed to be mad. Instead, they quickly cleaned everything and got new furniture from the garage to replace the ones I broke. And in minutes, the room was as good as new.
If you don't like this room, you can move to another one.
Jeez, this plan didn't go as I expected at all. No worries. I still had a lot up my sleeves. So I kept throwing tantrums here and there, spicing up their food, messing with their drinks, hiding their stuff, but nothing worked. They always forgave me, helped me, protected me. No matter what I did, they still said, "It's okay. We got your back. We're here for you." What's wrong with them? If my shenanigans wouldn't work, I would never escape this house. I guess I had to act up right in front of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, so they would kick me out immediately. But easier said than done. They were rarely home. So right the next time they returned with a beautiful vase, I seized my opportunity. When nobody was around, I gave the vase a little push, and it stumbled off. A crashing sound jarred. Then the Smiths rushed to the scene. "Oh gosh, what happened?" Before I opened my mouth, Martin jumped in and said, "I'm sorry, it's my fault. I just wanted to admire it, but accidentally dropped it." "No! Why do you say that? I did it!" Right then, Desi and Ryan also joined in and took the blame for the shattered vase, making the situation even messier.
Enough! Do you know how much this vase cost? You ungrateful peasants. I fed you, clothed you, and you smashed my precious vase, which is more valuable than all of your lives. We should have left you to rot in your stupid orphanages.
Please, they're just children.
Shut up! I hired you to keep an eye on those rats, so this is on you too.
Then the Smiths pulled Nanny Helen into their private room, but I could still hear them arguing, and Helen's pleading. I was totally shocked to see how rude and cruel the Smiths were. Finally, they decided the damage would be deducted monthly from Helen's wages, which also came from the fostering allowances. And God knows for how long. When I turned around, the kids had already cleaned the broken pieces on the floor with the saddest faces ever. I thought they would be angry at me, but they just gave me disappointed looks, then returned to their room. That night, I tossed and turned. I didn't mean for things to go this far, and make Nanny Helen pay for my guilt. But how could I fix it? Those kids were very close to Helen. Maybe they would have some idea. So, for the first time, I went to Desi's room and found all the kids were there. "Hi, guys."
Go away. You hurt Nanny. You hurt us.
"I am so sorry. I didn't know the Smiths were so harsh. I just want them to send me back to my mom."
We know, Avery, but if you get kicked out of this house, they won't bring you back to your mother, but to another foster home, and they're all so much worse. Trust me, Martin and I were in the system for 4 years before we got here.
True, the Smiths are not very nice parents, but we have Helen who has a golden heart, and you can't find that anywhere else. We don't want you to endure injustice, neglect, and discrimination like we did in past years.
Gosh, I couldn't imagine how much they went through. Yet all I did was bring them trouble. Talking about Helen, she shouldn't be punished for my act. How can I help her out?
That's hard.
She didn't get much from this job, you know, and this fine added more burden on her.
Yeah, the Smiths are very strict about anything related to finance. I don't even think they give Helen a fair amount to take care of us, because she always struggles and sometimes has to pay out of her pocket to give us food.
I can't believe it. The Smiths are rich. If they don't care about us, why do they become foster parents? It's a gig that makes them look good in the media and gives them more money. Who would say no to that? Then we spent the whole night talking, and I gradually realized these kids were no different than me. They also desired love and care from their parents, from family. So I told them about my mother and showed them my scrapbook. All of these memories seemed to relive in front of me while I was talking, and by the time I was finished, we all had tears in our eyes.
I am sure there's a way to help you get back with your mom. We will figure it out together.
The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Smith suddenly wanted to take us out for a meal. Nanny Helen prepared the best clothes for us and waved us goodbye while we stepped into the Smiths' luxury car to go to the biggest restaurant in town.
This is for our parents' promo campaign. We do this once a month.
Remember the $5 rule, children. We won't pay any more than that. So think carefully before you order and behave. Wow, how generous they are. I can totally see where the title, The Kindest Hearts in the Country, came from. We arrived at the restaurant and sat down at a large reserved table with cameras everywhere.
Come, my little angels. Ryan, come sit with Daddy.
That's it. This phony act was unbearable. If I want to help these kids and Nanny Helen, this was my chance. So when the staff came to take orders, I loudly said,
I want a hamburger, this chicken nuggets, and that sundae.
Darling, you can't eat that much. Remember our rule?
Well, you said you won't pay more than $5 for us, but all those dishes are only $4.
Look how awkward the Smiths were in front of the confused staff. My trick was definitely working. Oh, okay. Anything you want.
What are you doing? You'll be punished.
As if I care. My play had just begun. Next, when all our food was served, I took the ketchup bottle and squeezed it with all my might. The paste spurted out and landed straight on Mr. Smith's face.
Ouch! What the heck?
Everyone rushed to help him clean it, including some staff. Exactly my time to shine.
I'm sorry, Dad. I just wanted to draw a flower on my dish to dedicate to you. You took me in at my worst time, and I can't thank you enough.
Of course. That's what I should do.
Aw, she's so sweet.
Yeah, you can't be mad at her.
So let me give you a proper thanks. Thank you for giving us a house to live in, though you're never home to check on us. Thank you for cutting down our nanny's payment to get more money to take us out for this meal.
And thank you that you didn't punish me for breaking your vase yesterday, because you made our poor nanny pay for it instead.
Stop this nonsense! You just want to mess with me, don't you? You're all just a tool for me to make money and improve my reputation. Why can't you act nicely?
Easy, dear. The camera's still on.
Doesn't matter. We can edit this footage out. Now I have to give this foolish girl a lesson.
Really? Can you edit those, too? Little did he know. The fuss I made attracted so much attention that people started live streaming everything. Right that evening, many articles about how horrible the Smiths were came up. Because of their huge influence, the topic of bad foster home quickly became so heated that the government had to step in and review the entire system. The living condition in every foster home was improved, so many other foster children also benefited. The Smiths were so ashamed that they packed up and moved to Aruba and left the kids in the house with Helen with enough money so they didn't get called out again. I didn't expect things could go so well. Helen officially became the kids' foster mother, and I was so happy for them.
Thank you, Avery, for helping us out. We want to do something for you, too. The blast on the internet gives me an idea. What if we share your story online to get attention for your mom's case? If enough people care and sympathize with her, the court will have to look into it, too, and understand she's not a bad mom.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea. With Desi's help, my video with a scrapbook quickly went viral. And on the day of the trial, the courtroom was full of people who supported us. The verdict was finally announced.
And my mom walked free! Woohoo! This is the best day of my life.
We got our lives back together pretty quick because we received so much help. My mother and I got a huge deal to start a mother-daughter podcast, and I got to see Desi and Martin all the time, and at school too. And look, isn't that our lovely Ryan?
Hi, my name is Danielle, Danny for short, and this is not exactly a good time.
Smile, Danny. Don't make us feel bad.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be sent away out of your sight. Don't get us wrong, darling. You're gonna love the school. Right, honey?
Yes, it's a prestigious school for children of affluent families. Your mother and I loved our time at Kingsbury as well.
Because it was perfect for you. Trust me, I'm nothing like you.
But one day you'll thank us for keeping you off the streets.
It's always that condescending tone. As much as I hated being stuck at some age-old boarding school, I could use some time away from my parents. Before I go on, I should mention how this happened. Simple. I saw a big tough guy pushing around my friend, so I slashed his car tires in front of him to teach him a lesson. But to my parents, that was a rebellious act, so they're sending me to some boarding school as punishment. As we pulled up to Kingsbury's gates, I momentarily forgot how much I didn't want to be there. The medieval castle towers disappearing into the clouds could be mistaken for Hogwarts. I actually felt a string of hope for my future here. Unfortunately, those hopeful thoughts were short-lived. The principal, Mr. Hooper, had already read through my file and made up his mind about me.
Rest assured, we have a reputation for our discipline for a reason, and students like Danielle here benefit the most from it.
Clearly not the fresh start I had imagined. Mrs. Bell led me down the hall, then stopped at the door to room 237. A girl answered. Hi, Rumi. I'm Cassandra. You can call me Cass. Welcome to Kingsbury. Danny.
You'll be under Cassandra's supervision outside school hours. She's a model student who has been here long enough to know that there is no way around our rules.
Of course they'd make the teacher's pet babysit me. Awesome. Cass was worse than I thought. She constantly used looking for things as an excuse to touch my stuff. Surely she snooped around when I wasn't here too. So I figured I could have a little fun. I'd give this nosy roommate something to poke her nose into. This looks like an ordinary diary, but on the inside, I wrote about how I'd bring a vodka-filled water bottle to class, put bedbugs in Cass's bed, and sell cheat sheets to other students. You know, fun stuff. I definitely wouldn't do any of that, but gotta give our audience some drama, right? And the next day, Cass's behavior confirmed she had really read it. Is everything okay, Cass? What? Everything's fine. Just thought it was time to wash the sheets. Don't mind me. Sure, girl. I believe you. At Kingsbury, there were rules for just about everything. I managed to break half of them within my first 2 weeks just by existing, it seemed. Worse still, the punishments hardly ever matched the crimes. I once had to reshelve hundreds of books for missing the 8 p.m. curfew just because I was studying in the library. Another time, I had to clean the dining hall for an entire week because my shirt was untucked for a second. Not to mention, Mrs. Bell seemed to have eyes out for everything, everywhere, all at once. What in the world? How was I supposed to know Teen Vogue was considered contraband here? And that was punishable by cleaning every single candle holder in the school church. Could the school be any more constricting? Do they really expect us to entertain ourselves by laughing at the clouds like we're patients in an asylum? Or what? With literally zero fun, no wonder why everyone here always looks like zombies. I hear you're the new school rebel. Danielle, right? I'm Caroline. What do you say we blow this popsicle stand and go have some real fun? No thanks, I've had enough trouble already. It's fine, come on. Hey, you, finish this up, won't you? The audacity of this chick, though. How about no? You can't boss people around like that. Drop that self-righteous act already. No need to pretend you care about dorks. I'm good, and he's not the dork here. Ugh, I thought you were cool. What was that about? That boy thanked me, introduced himself as Ian, and asked what trivial fault I must have made to be stuck with this boring chore. So we chatted and made fun of Kingsbury's rules while I finished up. I felt like I was finally seen after those awful first weeks. Suddenly, things didn't feel so bad anymore. However, Caroline already set out to make my life miserable. This morning, she blocked me in the hallway right before the bell rang, which got me in trouble for being late and running. If she wasn't getting me in trouble, she was trying to humiliate me. And annoyingly, it worked. As much as I wanted to do something about it, I knew that any sort of retaliation would get me in more trouble. The only peaceful moments I had were with Ian. How come I never knew about these cool areas before?
This is the entertainment room in the home theater system, and out there is our Olympic-sized swimming pool and a croquet field. Pretty cool, right? But we're almost never allowed to use them. Sometimes I think these are here just to impress parents.
This place is unbelievable. All work and no play? Is this a prison? And still, I had a nosy roommate to deal with. To keep up the ruse, I wrote some more made-up shenanigans in my dummy diary. Ridiculous rules, Caroline's antics, and how passionately I hated Kingsbury made their way into the diary as well. We're trapped on campus, and anything fun was against the rules. It felt like we're here to be reprogrammed into obedient robots our parents wish we were. But at least Ian's cool. The next day, Cass kept trying to strike up a conversation with me. Hey, roomie. Everything good with you? Define everything. Like, how are you liking Kingsbury? Is anyone giving you trouble or anything? Should I be having problems? No, I hope not. I just thought you seemed a little down. As your roomie, I wanted you to know that I'm here for you if you need a friend. Oh, she must have read my diary again. But honestly, I found her clumsy cover-up quite endearing. Then she tried to change the subject to Caroline, who turned out to be her ex-roomie. I know she's mean, but she wasn't always that way. She only changed after a big trouble that almost got her kicked out. Wow, what could she have possibly done? Cass said Caroline then soon moved to another room also. I can't help but feel bad for her, though. She was actually kind to me. Cass seemed genuinely nice, but I wanted to see if she could be honest. If you're really my friend, then tell me, did you read my diary? You know? But hear me out. Your parents paid me to keep an eye on you and report everything to them. I agreed because I thought I was helping you stay on track. But Cass said she soon realized I wasn't really doing those bad deeds, so she actually told my parents good things only. I promise I've stopped working for them. It was wrong of them to spy on you, but I was in the wrong too. I'm sorry, can you forgive me? I believed her, but it wouldn't hurt to use this newfound friendship for some good. So I asked Cass to propose a fun activity for the upcoming holiday season to lighten up this lifeless place. Teachers, listen to you, and we'll donate the money to a good cause. You love this place, don't you? Help make everyone else love it too. Sounds great. Let's do it. Thanks to Cass, our Christmas market came to life. I'd never seen so many smiling faces at Kingsbury. I even managed to secure some last-minute entertainment. Surprisingly, Ian volunteered to perform, and he's really good. He usually wasn't one to stand out, but that night, things changed. Maybe it was the Christmas lights or the Ed Sheeran effect was making Ian everyone's crush, including mine. Not only did we have a blast, but also raised thousands of dollars to donate to a local hospital. A few days after that, we saw Caroline being flirty towards Ian. Of course Caroline would try to sink her teeth into Ian now that she knew he's hot. Luckily, Ian didn't seem interested. What you looking at? Just you, making an absolute fool of yourself? How dare you? Thanks, Cass, she really wasn't taking the hint. That moment, I knew I'd found my people. The next day, while I was concentrating on my math exam, Caroline suddenly showed me something. I'm so sorry. Let's be friends. She wants to make up? Now? Mrs. Harris, she's copying me. What in the world? This shameless liar! I was preparing for the worst when Mrs. Harris said, What's this, Caroline? Her answers are nothing like yours. Not like Danielle needs to cheat off of you. She then gave me back my sheet and dismissed Caroline's. I could see she was still in shock when she walked out. Incredible! Mrs. Harris totally saw through her act. Mrs. Harris was unlike any other teacher at Kingsbury. She was firm, but kind. With her on my side, Caroline didn't bother me anymore. I felt safe confiding in an adult like her. We eventually became more like friends. You like Ian, don't you? I can tell just by looking. There's a carnival in town tomorrow night. That's your chance to make a move. But, Mrs. Harris, curfew. Okay, it didn't sound like a good idea, but I did want to go on a date with Ian, so I texted him and he immediately said yes. Mrs. Harris basically told me to go for it. What could go wrong? I tried to quietly leave, but as I stepped into the hallway, Mrs. Bell's flashlight blinded me, and boy was she mad. So mad that she dragged me straight to Mr. Hooper's office. This was the second time I came here, which was a lot sooner than I expected.
I knew from the start that you would be a problem, Miss Osborne. You have violated the rules time and time again and display a blatant disregard for authority.
Sir, aside from tonight, I never intended to break any rule. I promise I've learned from those mistakes and won't be repeating them.
They weren't minor offenses, Miss Osborne. Drinking, distributing cheat sheets, infesting your roommate's bed with bugs.
Those were what I wrote in the dummy diary. How?
We do not allow such delinquency here. In fact, you should be expelled at this very moment. However, out of respect for your parents, you may leave quietly by your own volition.
I tried to explain myself, so he gave me 3 days to come up with evidence in the end. When I got back, I saw my desk drawer ajar, and Cass was asleep. She wouldn't do this. We're friends. But who else? My phone suddenly rang. It's Ian. I didn't want to talk about this over the phone, so I simply explained that someone didn't want me here and promised we'd talk later. I don't want you out either, bestie. Neither do I, Cassie. Not to waste any time, I came up with a plan to sniff out the culprit. This time, I wrote that I was playing a prank on Mrs. Bell. I even set up a silent alarm system with this piece of paper to see if anyone had opened my drawer. The next day, lo and behold, the alarm worked like a charm. They must have taken the bait. Now all there's left to do was... I opened the door to see someone totally unexpected.
Now that my plan's set in motion, Ian and I hid behind a wall near Mrs. Bell's office.
This is an interesting first date.
Romantic, isn't it? We suddenly heard footsteps approaching. I peeked around the corner to see Mrs. Harris? I instantly felt my blood boiling. The one person who I trusted betrayed me. I was about to confront her when Ian pulled me back and put one hand over my mouth. Mrs. Harris looked around impatiently, then tried to open the door. As the hinges creaked open, Ian played a loud alarm. Startled, Mrs. Harris tripped and fell. Then Mrs. Bell sprinted towards us.
What's going on? I arrived just in time to catch these two sneaking around your office. They're playing a prank on you.
Are you sure? Because that's not what the camera saw.
She's lying. She wrote all about it in her diary. I'm here to catch her in the act.
Mrs. Harris, how do you know what I write in my personal diary? I was just messing with my roommate. Are you trying to use them against me?
Don't believe a word she says. She's delinquent. Why would she write about sneaking in alcohol if she wasn't thinking of doing it? It's only a matter of time.
So you just make up something if nothing happens, Mrs. Harris? Caroline appeared alongside Mr. Hooper.
Mrs. Harris's face turned white at their sight. Caroline then said she accidentally overheard Mrs. Harris tell me to go out after curfew, which was shocking because she'd heard the same before. That's how Caroline was disciplined while her boyfriend was expelled. Recognizing the pattern in Mrs. Harris's behavior, she came to me. We decided to work together to stop this once and for all. Do you care to explain yourself? You really believe these rascals? They just want to make me look bad. That's not me in that video. It's deep fake.
By that point, many students had gathered around us. They all came forward to share similar stories about Mrs. Harris. She gained their trust and persuaded them to break school rules. When they're on the verge of expulsion, she blackmailed their parents into paying her lots of money to keep them here. At this point, Mrs. Harris had to relent and admitted her wrongdoings.
Mr. Hooper summoned me to his office the following day. Miss Osborne, I apologize for misjudging you. I am aghast to learn what Mrs. Harris was doing right under my nose. I may have never known it if it wasn't for yesterday's incident, so thank you. I assure you I'll do whatever it takes to fix the damages she caused.
Sir, I don't think Mrs. Harris was the root of the problem. It's Kingsbury's harsh rules. I know you take great pride in them, but rigidity isn't helping. Obedient kids become soft and submissive, while strong-willed ones end up challenging authority. Mrs. Harris took advantage of that. Most students here are exceptional, but their creativity's getting crushed under iron discipline. Mr. Hooper patiently listened to me. In the end, he shook my hand and bid me farewell. A week later, we received an email titled "A Message from the Principal." It contained a video of Mr. Hooper giving a formal apology to the students and families who were victimized by Mrs. Harris, who won't be teaching at any school again. He also acknowledged the problems plaguing our school.
Going forward, we will be instilling counsel-based solutions to handle students' problems. Several harsh punishments will be abolished, and mental health services will be available to all. In addition, extracurricular activities will be encouraged.
Things really changed for the better. Liveliness had returned to these beautiful hallways. Caroline stopped acting out and started patching things up with her old friend Cass. Now that the dust has settled, I think I'm in love with Kingsbury. And someone too. We're finally going on our long-awaited date.
I was walking through the forest when a scream startled me. A man running in horror from a pack of wolves. I quickly howled at them, then crouched down. Distracted, the wolves stopped, left the guy, and cautiously sniffed their way over to me.
Hey girl, run away!
Shush! After deciding I was no threat, they wagged their tails and started licking my face.
Aren't you scared?
Not at all. People often misunderstand wolves. This isn't Little Red Riding Hood. They're not actually grandma eaters. Come and make new friends, buddy. Hi, my name's Winona, an 18-year-old Native American living on the Blackfeet Reservation with my mom. And I'm about to tell you the craziest story of my life. After the wolves left, I helped the guy find a place to clean his wound and told him more about the wolves.
So you're a Blackfoot born and bred? It's my first time meeting a Native American.
How about you? What brings you here, city boy?
I'm actually a pianist wandering here for inspiration.
Have you found it yet? Or did you almost lose yourself just then?
Inspiration's hard to find, especially when you're a theater pianist.
What?
A theater pianist. I work at Winter Garden.
In New York? Wow, it's my dream to be a Broadway musical actress.
Actually, my theater's looking for a stage crew. You could start from there and I'll find ways to introduce you to the right people.
I couldn't let such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slide. But the thing is, my mom absolutely resents theater arts and forbids me to even mention it. So, I gotta devise a plan.
I brought Luke home for lunch. Mom was so welcoming and even prepared a great banquet. So Luke, right? What brings you to Montana?
I'm doing a research paper for school. I'm in college.
Oh, so you're around the same age as Winona. She's recently finished high school.
I know, and if it wasn't for Winona, I'd be dead by now. So I was thinking, if it's okay with you, I'd like to invite her to college with me.
That's nice of you.
But what are you studying?
Hotel management. Mom, I thought I could give it a try too. But honey, you said you wanted to take a gap year. I just didn't want to try college alone. But now I've met Luke, it'll be different.
Mrs. Ryder, I promise I'll take good care of her.
Mom smiled, then nodded. Yes! Mission accomplished! Oh man, look at how crazy the streets of New York are. Thankfully, Luke arranged a small place just a few blocks away from the theater for me. And the following day, he landed me a staff member job to get me used to the theater scene first. It's not easy, especially working for a grumpy director with a zillion demands.
Hey, you! Yes, you cleaning lady! Out of the way!
But just being here this close to the stage is incredible, right? One day, on set for Mr. Killorn's new play, he started yelling and throwing papers everywhere. Curious, I picked up the script and saw a line written in Blackfoot. Ketzikakumen? I love you? Mr. Killorn suddenly noticed me. Oops, I must have said it too loud.
How did you learn to speak Blackfoot?
My mom taught me. Oh, I live in the Blackfeet Reservation.
Interesting. You know what? You're cast for the leading role in this play. Go and meet Jade, the coach here at the theater studio. She'll instruct you further.
I froze on the spot and couldn't believe what had just happened until Luke appeared, bowed to the director, and pulled me out of there. Am I finally living my dream now? Here it is, the studio from the business card. Huh? Are they shooing a coyote? This stupid guy was waving his umbrella at the snarling animal. I tried to tell everyone to back up, but no one heard my tiny voice until the guy next to me suddenly spoke up.
Everyone, back up!
Thank God people finally listened. I slowly advanced to the coyote, knelt, and offered my hand to him. When he seemed to trust me enough, I gently stroked his head and calmed him down. Just then, Mr. Killorn's assistant appeared and took the coyote in. Turned out he's Mr. Killorn's pet. Who keeps a wild creature as a pet in this stuffy, urban space?
You okay? You hurt anywhere?
I'm fine. The poor little coyote looked terrified.
You know a lot about animals, don't you?
I grew up with them, yeah. In Blackfoot mythology, coyotes are guardian spirits.
Well, you sure were a guardian spirit right then.
I was still so touched by his words, but then Luke suddenly appeared.
Winona, I just heard about what happened. You okay? What are you doing here?
The guy, who was friendly just a second ago, now seemed cautious and just walked away while Luke glared at him. I'm fine.
You should stay away from him.
Luke doesn't seem to like that guy. Something weird is going on between these two. I went and met Jade, our coach. She told me about the role and introduced me to Nathan, my actor partner, which happened to be the guy I just met. I couldn't help but grin and offered my hand to Nathan, but he just ignored me and turned to the script. Hello? Am I just a stranger danger now? We then tried the opening act, but since it was my first time being on a turntable, I took the wrong step and fell over. Nathan! I was blushing when he suddenly glanced at Luke and dropped me, almost kissing the floor. Right then, a girl barged in. Is everything ready for my set? You're late again, Stella. And actually, you and Winona are both gonna practice and we'll see who's right for the role. Winona who? As if this nobody can stroll in and try to steal my role. How snobby. She's lucky this nobody doesn't want to make a scene on her first day. During the break, I questioned Luke more on Stella.
Stella is super talented. She's marvelous at dancing, singing, and acting. No surprise, though, because she's been training since she was little.
That's exactly why we should just give her the role already. A waste of time dealing with amateurs. That was so rude. So much for ever thinking he was friendly. In the following weeks, I finally got a better grasp of my character. The female lead was a gentle, down-to-earth Blackfoot woman. Easy peasy. I just need to pretend to be my mom. Only, my on-scene love interest Nathan was making things difficult. On stage, he refused to make eye contact with me, but he didn't have this trouble when he was up there with Stella. Every day I had lunch with Luke while Nathan and Stella were giggling in another corner, acting as if they were the most powerful couple here. Are they really in love? Oh, Winona, please. Why should you care? After lunch, I ignored Stella's glaring eyes and focused on being Nathan's lover on stage.
What kind of singing is that? Give me a break already.
That's enough, Stella. Actually, I just informed Mr. Killorn over lunch that Winona's getting the role.
Ha! Very funny.
No, it's not a joke. Look at your performance recently, Stella. It's rather disappointing. Winona, keep up the good work.
Stella looked like she'd had the blood sucked out of her. I excitedly beamed at Luke, but strangely he looked concerned and ran after Stella. Does he have feelings for her? See that? Why hasn't he just confessed his feelings for Stella already and stopped this unrequited love tragedy? Isn't it because you and Stella are together? And that's also why you're so half-hearted whenever you're on set with me? It's not like that. I just couldn't control myself every time our eyes met. What did he mean by that? Congrats anyways. I always knew you deserved this role. He's right. I'd really worked super hard for this. I'm so close to achieving my dream now. The next day, I rushed into the first official rehearsal and acted my heart out in front of Mr. Killorn and the whole crew. I was dancing away to Luke's sentimental track when the door slammed open. It was Mom!
I can't believe you lied to me and came here to do these foolish antics.
Oh no. Mr. Killorn turned pale while Jade gasped upon seeing Mum. I tried to tell Mum to let me finish the scene, but...
Fine, be this way. Until you come to your senses, you're not my daughter anymore.
Mum then stormed out of there. Mr. Killorn told everyone to take a break and also left. I stormed over to Luke and asked if he told my mum the truth. But right when he was stammering, Mr. Killorn came between us.
I didn't know you had to lie to your mum to get here.
Yeah, sadly. She knows about my acting dream, but she has always been so negative about it.
Is that so? Well, you're doing a great job. Continue practicing for the play. And maybe take me to your mum sometime and I'll try and explain this to her.
Encouraged by the director's feedback, the next day I confidently acted my part. Yet Jade seemed dissatisfied and criticized my movements, saying they were too rigid.
Winona, I'm giving the role to Stella. You need more training.
What? I'm not some toy you can throw back and forth. Was it all just a show to get me and her to pit against each other? What was that about? Why the change?
You're not qualified. Go back to your mother.
What has this to do with my mother? I didn't know what was going on, but I was sure of one thing. I needed to prove myself, so I stayed at the studio practicing, swinging and swaying my soul away under the studio light until I accidentally sprained my ankle. Right then, Nathan came out and helped me up. Why are you still here? I saw you stay, so I thought I'd stick around for a little longer. As he spoke, he gently pressed an ice bag on my ankle. I felt the butterflies flapping in my stomach, but suddenly remembered his attitude before and pushed him away. Ready to stand up, just to fall into his embrace again. You must think I'm so hot and cold, but I just didn't want Luke to misunderstand anything. What do you mean? We're just friends. And what's up with you and Luke? Then he told me how he and Stella were the best of friends back at acting school until Luke appeared. Luke was instantly attracted to Stella and asked Nathan to set them up. Nathan, of course, happily agreed. However, the next day Stella suddenly expressed her feelings for Nathan right in front of Luke. Luke didn't take it too well and thought I was messing with him. He's resented me ever since. So, you and Stella are just friends? We are. Stella might appear childish, but she's good-natured. She's dealing with a lot inside. I've just been watching over her. But right now she's gonna have to learn to stand on her own since I think I've met my guardian spirit. His guardian spirit? We were so close, I swear we were almost kissing. But I quickly pulled away, saying I gotta go practice. The final rehearsal is my only chance to get my role back now. I showed up just as a substitute today, but when everybody was ready to rehearse, the only person missing was Stella. No one seemed able to contact her, and the director was growing impatient. Jade had no other choice but to push me onto the stage. Luke didn't seem too happy with this replacement, and suddenly played the piano much faster than expected. Flustered, I took a deep breath and let myself float naturally to his rhythm. During the intermission, I asked Luke what that was about.
Drop it, Winona. I already knew. You got in here all thanks to your director dad, yet you fooled me with your little story. It's you who forced Stella away from her chosen role.
Who's my dad? Mr. Killorn? Right then I was called for the next act. Still puzzled by what Luke said, I couldn't focus on my part with Nathan. Suddenly I heard Nathan scream my name and leapt to push me to the side. I fell on the floor and saw the massive chandelier land on Nathan. Everybody rushed to check on us, and among the crowd came, Mom?
We were all waiting for the doctor to check on Nathan when Luke suddenly spoke out. I'm sorry for what I said, but Jade told me Mr. Killorn is your dad, and you guys forced Stella to drop her role. Mr. Killorn and I both gave Mom astounded eyes. Winona's my daughter? That's right, Andrew. But don't worry, as soon as Nathan's recovered, I'll bring Winona back home and will not bother you and Jade again. No, you've got it all wrong. Why didn't you tell me about our daughter? Jade said if I told you, she would harm Winona. Wait, does this have anything to do with the accident? 'Cause right before the act, I saw Jade talking to a crew member who set up the stage for Nathan and Winona. I'll get this looked into at once. So, this play about Andrew and a Blackfoot woman falling in love? Is it about you and Mom? Mr. Killorn didn't reply, but looked at Mom tenderly, and she burst out crying. Right then, the doctor came out, saying we could visit Nathan. Luke quickly pulled me aside, leaving the adults there. How are you feeling? Any discomfort? You're not mad at me anymore? Yeah, sorry for being a jerk. It's alright, dude. Go find Stella before she leaves. She said she was sick of being thrown around. She's taking a leave to reassess a few things. But why me? Aren't you? We're just friends. How many times do I have to tell you? Luke didn't even wait for Nathan to finish and rushed out of there. I wished them a happy ending. And it's indeed happy endings all round. Not only for Luke and Stella, who are now officially an item, but also for Mom and Mr. Killorn. Or should I say Dad? Our family has finally reunited. On the other hand, Jade vanished as soon as her schemes were out in the open. Turns out, all of this was because she'd been in love with my dad for years. So back when Mom was dating Dad, she told her lies about him to get her to leave. Furious that both Mom and I were back, she decided to make us go for good. Dad helped me get a spot in the theater academy in New York, but he misses Mom lots, so always makes excuses to bring me and Nathan back to Montana. You guys need more inspiration, right? New York's just all hustle and bustle. So, how about we move the studio back here? Nathan, what do you think? I don't know, but wherever you are, that's where I'll be.
It's the country's fair day today, or as I like to call it, my winning day. See that huge plushie over there? It's about to become mine. Ready, set, and yes! Bullseye! I excitedly took the bear when it suddenly got yanked away by this crazy bull. Hey, I won that bear fair and square! But I saw it first. Now hand it over, Hobbit. Hobbit? I yanked the bear from him, but it ended up ripping in half. His girlfriend burst into tears, and now I'm like a red rag to him. He rushed towards me, and before I could even think straight, my fist took over. How many times have I told you, Angie? A girl doesn't just raise her fist and cause trouble like that. It was self-defense. He was gonna hit me, Mom. I'm done with this. Like father, like daughter. Why are you even bringing him up? He left us years ago, so let him stay out of our lives. Even thinking about him made my blood boil. I turned to the window, avoiding the look I knew my mom was giving me. When we got home, we found the door open. Something wasn't right. I quickly ran into the house and saw black shadows standing in our living room. Who are you people? What are you doing in my house? All hail our new leader! The lights suddenly came back on, and I saw them all bow to... me? Angelina, I've been looking forward to meeting you. I'm Nick Mason, Mr. Bruno's right-hand man. My dad sent you here? From this day on, you will become our new leader of the X organization, on his behalf. You gotta be kidding me! For so many years, he hasn't cared about whether we live or die, and now he suddenly wants me to take over? And look at you all. This organization seems no good. Please don't misunderstand us. X organization was founded by your father to help the local people and fight for justice. But things took a horrible turn, so I'm afraid he's gone to jail for a little while. He's in jail? Oh, my head! Fighting for justice? That's why he's in jail now? Your father put the safety of the seaport local first. In doing so, he fell into the enemy's trap. You will understand him better if you accept his wish and become our leader. As much as I hate to admit it, I missed my dad. He once promised that he would skip his work and hang out with me on my birthday, but then he just disappeared without a word and has been quiet for the past 6 years. Until now. Darling, I have something for you. She gave me some old letters and a plushie bear, which I'd begged my dad to buy for me. She'd hid it from me the whole time, as she was mad at my dad for always risking his life for things that weren't any of his business. It turned out that my dad had still cared about me, even without me knowing. Mom, I've made up my mind. I hope you'll support me. So, my mom and I had a long journey to the seaport of the city where my dad's X organization was secretly operating. We walked into the market, then stopped at a large fish shop.
How on earth does an organization have their secret base in such a crowded place?
The most dangerous place is the safest one. Remember that.
I remembered my dad used to say this to me when I was a kid too. This must be his crazy idea. Nick led me into a room at the back of the store and introduced this as the organization's base. So this is where my dad used to work, and he'd still kept the same old hat all these years?
Let's get to work. There's been a lot of theft going on in town lately. Every night, the thieves break into stores and steal everything they can. People are panicking right now, so we need to solve this as soon as possible.
Isn't this the police's responsibility?
If they were capable, we wouldn't have to get involved. That's why your father maintains this organization. Now you need to settle in a bit. I've arranged your accommodation and enrolled you in a local school. Remember, your identity is top secret.
For the next few days, at 5 a.m. every morning, Uncle Nick got me up and took me to the port to tell me more about the thieves. However, he just joined the fish auction the whole morning instead of actually doing anything serious. So I went somewhere else and pretended to talk to the fishmongers about the burglaries in town. At that moment, a guy in a cap that covered his face bumped into me. "Hey, dude, nice bracelet, but ever taught to apologize?"
Hey, take it easy. You're making a scene.
Okay. Maybe I should just behave like a normal schoolgirl here. Having to get up so early in the morning to go to the port also made me too exhausted to study anything. One morning I was falling asleep at my usual place when some noise woke me up. A group of gangsters was teasing a boy? Dude, I'm trying to catch some shut-eye over here.
Shut up, loser.
Uh-oh. They were messing with the wrong person. I grabbed a nearby mop and made some fancy moves that took them all down, then dragged the flabbergasted nerd out of there. He wasn't calm enough to run for his life. This little guy is Killian. Ever since that day, he kept following me and wouldn't shut up about how strong I was, saying things like, "I could never imagine a small person like you having such crazy strength," or, "They all pick on me, but you, Angel, don't. Then, let's be friends." I have no peace when he's around. While I was trying to make some space for myself, a call suddenly came from Uncle Nick.
"One of the jewelry shops in the city just got burglarized. Can you help?"
"What? Yeah, I'll head back to headquarters and set up a plan. You can count on me." I then hung up, and that's when I heard a ball hitting the floor. I turned around, and there was Killian, standing behind me, shocked to the core. He'd obviously heard the whole conversation. "If you utter a word of this to anyone, you'll not wake to see another day. Do you hear me?" I can help you. I know this town like the back of my hand." "Okay, we can be friends, or associates, as long as you keep quiet." After school, Killian and I rushed to the crime scene. While wandering around, I spotted a shiny thing among the broken glass. It must have been from those thieves. But wait, I've seen this D symbol somewhere. I was about to pick it up when Killian grabbed my hand, shivering.
"Bro, it's her who attacked us back then."
That gangster suddenly came at me. I tried to dodge him, but ended up toppling over backwards. Suddenly, a strong arm held me back and shielded me from the punch. Mamma mia! Who's this handsome hunk? I wrapped my arms around him and pulled out my inner damsel in distress. "Oh, my hero! These jerks won't leave me alone! Please save me! I'm scared!"
"Mess with my friend one more time and you're dead meat. Get lost."
He turned to me, making sure I was okay, then parted way. Through Killian, I found out his name is Frank, a senior at our school, and he's known for his cold and reserved demeanor. Definitely my type of guy. But wait, what about the bracelet? I returned to the broken glass window. The bracelet was nowhere to be found. At school, all students were constantly talking about these recent burglaries. Everyone was worried about who would be the next victim. When will all this nonsense stop? I wonder who their next target will be. Don't you see? The recent victims were all the big shots in town, and the crimes were all on the days the police weren't out patrolling.
So then, Graham's jewelry shop and Holden's boutique store could potentially be their next target?
That makes sense. Wait, Frank? Now that you're here, I feel so much safer. It'll probably be Holden's because Graham already added a new security system to his shop. Please stop fiddling with your hair like that.
Good observation. The police don't patrol the port tonight, so they might make a move. So stay still inside, will you, sweetie?
Aww, but his sweetie's still gotta watch Holden's shop and catch the thieves red-handed tonight. An hour had already passed, but nothing had happened. Right at that moment, Nick received a phone call that Graham's shop had just been robbed. The thieves broke the security system and everything had been taken. Nick snapped at me for acting impulsively without having any clear evidence. But this felt so sketchy though. Holden's store was way more vulnerable. It's like they knew we were waiting to ambush them here.
A few days later, while I was patrolling around the shopping street, Killian informed me that there was a suspicious masked man sneaking around the pearl shop. I immediately dashed there, right at the moment he was breaking the lock. In the blink of an eye, I kicked him, knocking him to the ground.
Angelina! Holy crickets, are you okay?
I looked up to see Frank running towards me. The thief immediately rose up, causing me to fall back, then fled the scene right away. Catch the thief, quick! Frank and Killian darted past me and followed the guy. I waited for them at the harbor, but only Killian came back. Sorry, Angelina, but I have to say this. There's something fishy about Frank. I think he's on the thief's side. Oh, come on. Are you jealous of him? How do I know you're not their spy? What do you mean? You've been acting suspicious from the get-go. You wouldn't leave me alone for a sec. And remember how you listened in on my conversation with Nick? And what about when you made me so sure it was Holden's shop that would be the next target, And now you're blaming Frank? You're so wrapped up in that jerk. I saw him purposefully let that thief go. When I was about to catch up to him, Frank suddenly stopped, making me crash into him. Then the thief got away. That can't be. He's always there to help me. I'm the one who's always backing you up, but you only see that fraud as your hero. Ugh, just forget it. Wait, I had no idea who to trust. It was all so confusing. Right at that moment, I got a message from Frank asking me to go to this Meteor camping place, as he had something important to say to me. Okay, it was time to confront him and get the truth. I rushed there as fast as I could, only to find nobody? I looked around and noticed this suspiciously lit up tent. The tent flaps suddenly opened and a shadow bolted towards me.
Hey, calm down. It's me.
I opened my eyes to see Frank in front of me. He'd set up this whole place for me? Frank suddenly took my hand and confessed.
Angelina, I've fallen head over heels for you. I was wondering, will you be my girlfriend? Together, we could be a power couple. With your X organization and my Darkwalkers clan backing us.
How do you know I'm related to X organization?
Ha! I've been watching you since that first day you wandered around the fish market with that old Nick. Remember this bracelet? You almost got me that time.
You shameless, rotten, stinking skunk! I even trusted you over Killian!
Oh, come on. It's not my fault you fell for me and betrayed your best friend. You and I are more alike than you think. It's only fitting that we become a team.
Enough! Listen carefully. I'm never going to team up with a dirtbag like you!
How did you... Guys, take her!
From the tents, Frank's minions came out one by one and surrounded me, then gradually tightened the siege.
Let's see who's the boss now.
Oh, no, I fell into his trap. Those punks held a rope ready to tie me up, but right at that moment, I heard a car engine approaching. Is that Killian leading Nick and the X organization? He jumped out of the car, ran past the minions and Frank to get to me.
Angelina, are you all right? You're not hurt anywhere, are you?
I shook my head and felt so touched. He'd come to save me. I thought you were mad at me.
I was, a little bit, but I couldn't let you do all this alone, so I went to Uncle Nick.
Behind Killian, Uncle Nick and the team had seized all the thieves and their ringleader Frank. Now they'd spill all their dirty secrets in front of the law. It turns out, my dad was about to expose the Darkwalker clan for their evil antics when they framed him for intentionally causing injury and put him behind bars. Since I became the new leader of X, Frank had been trying to seduce me so he could manipulate the organization. Finally, though, my dad was found innocent and released. Mom and I welcomed him home with open arms.
I'm so sorry for leaving you behind. I was afraid I would put you in danger.
It's all right, Dad. You must have had a hard time, too. I'm sorry for taking so long to realize how proud I am of you. I missed you so much. Dad was super impressed with what we had accomplished for the organization. He even decided to let me continue to be the leader, all the while supporting me and teaching me his tricks. And I know for sure everything will turn out okay, especially with this guy by my side. So, did I do a good job proving myself, lady boss? The vice leader position seems to suit me well, don't you think? You do deserve a promotion. How does vice leader and boyfriend sound?
Why is he always late? I've been waiting for my boyfriend Kevin for the last half an hour. I craned my head to see if he was coming, but the only people around were a cuddling couple. I watched the guy kiss his girlfriend on the cheek, then led her over to the Porsche parked nearby. Oh wow, if only... But wait, that guy! Oh my god, it's Kevin! Thanks for the gift, babe, but wouldn't this Gucci wallet look even more perfect with a pair of Brioni pants? You jerk! I shouted as I threw the cake I was holding at his shocked face. To the surprise of the new girlfriend, he immediately denied knowing me and made out I must be crazy. What? However, once the girl got in the car, he turned to me. We're done. You may have a pretty face, but you're just some poor little orphan. What did you just say? Poor little orphan? I trusted him. I loved him. But it turns out he was just a lying, cheating gold digger. My heart ached through this betrayal, but I still had to drag myself to work. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm Linda. I've lived at this orphanage since I was little, and my job is to take care of the vegetable garden. If only one day a king would appear, tell me I was the long-lost princess, then take me back to his magnificent kingdom. I was just putting on my gloves when a nun rushed over to me. Oh no, busted. I was gonna get nagged for being late. But to my surprise, she smiled as she handed me a piece of paper. Oh my god, I can't believe it! I've been adopted! Curious, I flipped the paper and checked my adopter's information. Huh? Their year of birth was only 2000? I was eager to read more, but the nun took the paper back. I must have misread it. No way my adopter is barely older than me. The nun pointed to the gate. A Mercedes was there with a bodyguard in black. Next to him was a woman wearing a long skirt, a mask, and sunglasses. Is that the person who adopted me? Am I finally going to be a rich mistress living in the big castle with my millionaire parents? Well, yep. I'm now sitting in this expensive car with my adoptive mother. I was so excited. But the whole ride, she didn't say a word. And this weirdness continued until we stopped in front of this incredible mansion. As soon as we entered the place, a maid hurried over and bowed to us. Only then did my foster mother turn to me, take off her sunglasses, and say, "I'm Martha. Welcome to your new home, my daughter." Oh, she sounds so young. So she must really be born in 2000. But this girl, who's just my sister's age, just called me daughter? That's so weird. This definitely would take some getting used to. Then Mom told the chauffeur to start the car as it was time for my makeover. Wow, another car? Huh? Isn't that a limousine? This was insane. And boom, here I am at a luxury beauty salon. I didn't know what half of these shimmering, expensive-looking products were. I let the beautician do her thing and boom again. When I opened my eyes, a stranger stared back at me. Wow, with his curly blonde hair and layers of makeup, I looked at least 5 years older. Oh man, goodbye my cool blue streaks. Before I could complain, my new mom handed me an outfit. Wait, what is this? This dress is super tight and short. I feel like an Egyptian mummy in it. As for these high heels, ugh, how could anyone walk straight in these things? But seeing my mother's satisfied eyes, I tried to force a smile. I'm a noble lady now, and this is just how we dress, right? Finally, dinner time. I used to think that places like this only existed on TV. Oh, look at these numbers. One meal here costs more than our monthly expenses at the orphanage. Wow, it didn't take long until the waiter brought out these fancy-looking dishes. But Mom's still wearing a mask? I was about to ask when she ordered a portion to go, then told me to just eat and she would wait for me. Why though? This was so awkward. Why was she so insistent on keeping her mask? But that's not the only strange thing. Today, I returned to school. Still the same old school, but Mom insisted this muscular bodyguard accompanied me everywhere. I couldn't even go to the restroom in peace as he stood guard outside. It's great I've been adopted and all, but I can't carry on being controlled like this. It's so embarrassing. I have to negotiate with Mom. So I made her some squash soup to break the ice. I knocked on her door a few times, but no response. So I opened it, intending to leave the bowl on her table when suddenly someone held my wrist. It was Mom. She looked at me with scary eyes. How dare you enter my room without permission? Where are your manners? I made some soup for you, and I forbid you from entering my room again. I will not repeat myself on this. Okay, geez. Why was she so sensitive about it? I wonder what she was hiding there. So, that was a failure, and I still have this living statue following me everywhere. It's lunchtime, yet thanks to him, no one would ever sit with me. I needed to escape him before his presence suffocated me. What should I do? Finally, after overhearing some students mention that the vending machine had run out of orange juice, I immediately asked the bodyguard to get some for me. Ha! I'm sure he won't find any even if he dug up this whole school. Success! How great it is not being supervised by that giant rock of a guard. I was in the field joyfully chatting with 2 of my friends, but I didn't even get to finish my story before the bodyguard showed up again. Great, now you've scared my friends off. There he goes again, being all silent and still. Ugh, this was so annoying. I need to set up a date to apologize to my friends about that incident. And of course, we have to finish the gossip we were talking about. But how could I possibly avoid my bodyguard? Aha! I just sneaked out of the kitchen's back door, and there's only this fence left between me and freedom. Oh no, the stupid alert system! The bodyguard was rushing toward me, but thankfully, I made it through. But then, oh snap. Before I could process what was going on, Mom was glaring at me and gave the guard an order. Take her back to her room, immediately! As soon as I was tossed back into my room, Mom started yelling. What is this rag you're wearing? Maids, throw this ghastly clothes away at once. From now on, you'll only wear what I allow you to. And you must not go outside without my permission. Is that clear? Then she slammed the door shut. What? Why was she being so unreasonable? I couldn't live like this. I needed to talk to her. I barged into her room but didn't see her anywhere. I took a look around and noticed a picture of a girl, but why does she look exactly like me? Who is this person? What's happening here? Mom angrily sprinted towards me and grabbed the photo frame. I tried to take it back, and as we were pulling about, I quickly took a chance and snatched her mask. Surprisingly, her wig also came off. Oh my god, Martha looks exactly like me! Except there's a mark on the side of her face. Martha, what's going on? It took a while for her to calm down and tell me everything. Turns out she was due to marry her dream man, but then she was diagnosed with hypochromia, a condition that affects red blood cells and can result in skin pigmentation. She worried if her fiancé found out, he would cancel the wedding. Then she found a picture of me that my orphanage posted on their fan page. Stunned by how similar we looked, she came up with the idea of asking me to replace her on her big day. What? How dare she use me like a tool? I was about to leave, but then she got on her knees and started sobbing. Please help me. I must marry him. Then you can go home. I have lots of money. You can have as much as you want. Please, this marriage is everything to me. I'm truly in love with him. Martha looks so pathetic. I couldn't leave her alone miserable like this, so I agreed to help her. She then shared her Instagram account with me so I could contact her fiancé. So I went on my first date with this man called Elias, wearing a Bluetooth headset connected to Martha's. 5 minutes had passed and he hadn't noticed I was a fake. That was a little strange, huh? Is there something on my face? Why are you staring at me like that? Oh, sorry, it's just you look even more appetizing than this beefsteak. And you're far prettier than the last time we met, Maddie. Every time I set eyes on you, I feel myself blossoming. Ugh, I know, it was a cheese fest. But hey, I was just doing my part here. Then suddenly, Elias sighed and gave me this sad look. My dad is seriously ill and is in the hospital. Right now, we're in a very difficult financial situation. At this rate, I don't know if the wedding will go as planned. So, it would be great if you could help me. Yes, of course. I will help you. Don't worry. Oh boy, what a simp Martha is. As soon as I delivered the line, Elias immediately got up and said he must go to the hospital to take care of his dad, leaving the bill to me. Something about all this seems fishy to me. The next day, I waited for Elias at a cafe. He was late and rushed in, looking all flustered. Honey, did you wait long? You have the money, don't you? I gave Elias the bank card and a small gift box. I wanted to cheer you up, so here's a little something extra. Yeah, Martha had begged me to deliver this gift box to him by hand, saying that his family situation must have stressed him out tons, so she wanted to comfort him. What a rich people thing to do. Oh, a Rolex! Pumpkin, thank you. This watch will surely go well with the Valentino shirt. What a pity I don't have one yet. Wait, I think I'd heard this somewhere before. Oh my god, he sounded exactly like that douchebag Kevin. Was he just using Martha for her money? I decided to pry further and find out. Is your dad better? I would like to visit him. Which hospital is he in? Elias looked confused. He fidgeted with his watch, unable to meet my gaze. My dad's fine. You really don't need to visit him. So you don't have to worry about the hospital bills anymore, right? Oh, no. I haven't paid his bills yet. I can't... I'm just kidding. Of course, it's yours. Now I'm sure he's no different than my gold-digging ex. I couldn't let this guy continue to take advantage of Martha. I went home and told her right away, but she refused to believe me.
Stop talking nonsense. Now, take this cake to him at once. He must be so exhausted after looking after his sick dad. This would be a sweet surprise for him.
I struggled to carry the huge cake to Elias's house. Then I saw him standing there arguing with another girl. I should have broken up with you a long time ago. My fiancé is much richer than you.
I'm begging you, please, change your mind.
The girl cried and pulled Elias's hand, but he just swung his arm and got into the car. Ugh, that jerk Elias! He's treating these girls as hard like they're his playthings. I have to stop this. The big day has come already, but before walking down that aisle, I need to get one thing done first.
What do you think about this look, huh? I took a selfie and sent it to Elias to see his reaction.
Right at that moment, Martha rushed into the room.
What on earth do you think you're doing?
Just leave it alone, and we'll have a great show for you to see. Suddenly, I received a message from Elias. Darling, you're as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. The love I feel for you is indescribable, and I can't wait to call you my wife. Wow, give this guy an Oscar.
See?
Oh, really? Then let me show you something even more interesting. Right at that moment, I received another text.
Okay, that's my cue to act.
I signaled Martha to stay quiet and dragged her over to the window. We took a peek outside, and that's when someone appeared. As I walked up the aisle, I heard gasps from everyone. Geez, had they never seen a pigmentation mark before? But Elias gently smiled at me. Well, let's see how long he can keep up the act. It was my turn to read the oath when Martha furiously barged in.
Elias, you're a liar! The wedding's off!
What? Wait, Martha? But why are there two of you? The whole crowd was in an uproar.
Drop the act. I already know you're only marrying me for my money. Money you plan on granting to another girl.
No, Maddie, I love you. Right at that moment, a girl stepped out of the crowd.
Pff, you truly believe I'd ever get back with you? Not in your dreams.
All eyes stopped on the pathetic, panic-stricken Elias.
Ha! Take that, you lying gold digger.
Oh, the girl looks familiar, right? She's Ruby, Elias's ex. On that day, I followed Ruby and told her everything about Elias' gold digger ways. Then we came up with a plan to expose him. Ruby would come to the wedding and beg for him back. And as expected, after seeing a picture of me with a flawed face, he immediately agreed to get back with Ruby. And of course, I purposefully let Martha overhear the conversation. Brilliant! Now, Elias is currently being removed by Martha's bodyguards. Serves him right. So what happened next? Well, Martha told me about her past. Her parents both passed away and left her a huge fortune. She may have had wealth, but she was lonely, which is why she acted impulsively around Elias. We both learned that love is precious, and it's also worth the wait for someone who loves us unconditionally. Martha let me stay here in her mansion, and we've actually become really close. It turns out we both have found something way better than fake love from slimy gold diggers, and that's sisterly love.
It's almost the finish line. Just a little more. Come on, Bolt. We can make it. Yes, we've done it again. So, as you can see, the winner was me, Matilda, along with my horse, the heroic Bolt. This is our third win in a row already. Woohoo! It may only be a small hometown race with a modest prize, but it's still gonna go a long way in supporting my grandparents' farm. Now it's time for this guy to rest. Good boy, Bolt. You did amazing out there.
A 16-hand stallion, healthy, glossy coat, and a well-mannered temperament. Geez, the horse dealers even follow me home now? I took a handful of hay, spun around, and hurled it at him. Go away! I don't want your stinking money. Bolt is not for sale.
Right at that moment, my grandpa appeared.
Matilda, that is no way to speak to our guest of honor. I apologize for my granddaughter's behavior. She's a firecracker at times. Teenagers, you know. Anyway, it's dinner time. Please join us for a home-cooked meal right this way. Huh? Guest of honor? Who could he be? Oh my god. It turns out the man was none other than Mr. Allen, the chairman of Allstellar Incorp., the annual sponsor of my family's farm. I turned beet red and apologized profusely for being so rude to him. No problem, kiddo. I like your spirit. I thought it'd be a good idea to check out the farm I'm sponsoring, and I stumbled upon the racing tournament. Oh boy, you sure can race, can't you, girl? Not many can handle a wet track at that speed.
We have our reservations about her skipping school and competing in such dangerous races. But Matilda's insistent that she was a part of this family, so it's her responsibility to help us, her only remaining relatives.
Mr. Allen gave me this thoughtful look, then said,
How about this? The annual sponsorship for your grandparents' farm stays the same, and on top of that, you can move in with me and have a proper education.
Did I hear him right? I gasped. But who will take care of my grandparents?
Sweetie, we still have our health. We can run this place just fine. That's right, Maddie. Take your chance. Opportunities like this don't come twice.
But what about Bolt? I can't go without him.
Bring him along. I have a small horse farm where he can stay. You can help around the stables, and we can call it payment for your school fees, alright?
Well, I guess that's settled then. Yay! 1 week later, Mr. Allen sent his driver to pick me up, and the new chapter of my life started from here. Wait. Oh my god. This can't be it! Mr. Allen said it was a small horse farm, but this place, it's enormous. As soon as I stepped out of the car, a girl my age rushed over and hugged me. Matilda, you're finally here! I'm your new sister, Judy. I greeted her back with the widest smile. She seemed so sweet. She led me over to the front porch where Mr. Allen and a woman were waiting for me. It must be my new mom, but why was she giving me such a strange look? Before I could even introduce myself, she turned and walked into the house. Maybe she wasn't feeling very well. That evening, I dined on a lavish meal. We chatted lots, and the Allens seemed fascinated by my childhood life at the farm, especially Judy with her 10,000 questions. Sis, so, is it true that you have never seen your parents? Yeah, my father passed away in an accident before I was born, and my mom also left me when I was an infant. On hearing that, Judy gently comforted me while Mr. Allen smiled and said,
Now, besides your grandparents, you also have us, your second family. You got a sister, a new dad here, and also your caring mom. Right, darling?
Mrs. Allen flinched and dropped her fork. I immediately leaned over to ask, Mom, are you okay? But to my surprise, she just yelled at me. Don't call me that! Feeling flustered, I stared down at my plate. Had I done something wrong? Over the following days, I tried my best to get closer to Mom, but I was always met with coldness in return. One time, seeing Mrs. Allen was resting outside, I brought her an iced coffee. But as soon as she saw me coming over, she placed her hat over her face, pretending to be asleep. On another occasion, I complimented her dress, but she just tutted at me, then walked away. I really wanted her to like me, but it was useless. She clearly detested me. But at least I still have Judy and Dad by my side. Judy tried reassuring me that Mom was a good person and that she just needed a little more time to get to know me better. As for Dad, not only did he send me to a top school, but he also encouraged me to follow my passion. All the afternoons when I got to watch horse racing and bet on the winning horse with Dad were so much fun. And as I watched the horses gallop past, a thought crossed my mind. What if Balt and I were the one on that track, winning the race and bringing back the huge prize money for my grandparents? I couldn't stop thinking about this. So one time, on the way back home from a race, I asked my dad if I could compete, and he didn't even hesitate to reply.
Why not? You do have a talent. How about give it a go?
Oh God, this was so exciting! My foster dad was the best, and I couldn't wait to give this my all and make him proud. After that, he immediately got me a personal coach and a dedicated team of trainers and groomers for Bolt. I'd never felt so happy, and Bolt had never looked so good. Everything was great, except that Mrs. Allen still seemed to have an issue with me. Every time I packed for practice, she always frowned and muttered stuff under her breath. Maybe she's irritated about the fact that an adopted child like me was receiving much more than I deserved, or something. But anyway, whether she liked it or not, with my talent, I'll quickly rise to be a brilliant rookie. One morning after practice, Judy came up to me and said, Matilda, can you teach me how to ride a horse? It might be a little scary for a first-timer. Are you sure you want to try? Yes, please. If I know how to ride, I can spend more time with Dad just like you do. I looked at her angelic, hopeful face. How could I say no? So I helped her onto Bolt and taught her how to hold the reins and do a few commands. It went smoothly at first, but suddenly Mrs. Allen came out of nowhere and shouted, What are you doing? Judy, come down right now. Startled, Judy misjudged her movements and tumbled off Bolt. As we both rushed over to check on her, Mrs. Allen pushed me aside, which caused me to fall onto my butt. Do you know how important legs are to a ballet dancer? Are you intent on ruining her future? Before I could reply, she shouted, "What an incompetent kid! Get out of my sight!" Ugh, it was just a few scratches and bruises. Why was she so serious about it? And incompetent? Huh, fine. I'd show her what an incompetent kid can do. From then on, I got my head in the game and continuously won several small and medium prizes. I sent most of my winnings to help out my grandparents and kept the rest to treat Judy and myself to something nice. One day after dinner, Dad called me into his office and told me that the two biggest races of the year, the Grand Shields and the Royal Silverford, were coming up in 2 weeks, and he'd already signed me and Bolt up for them. But the two races were only 1 week apart. That would be too much for Bolt, cause the latest race seemed to wear him out. I mentioned this to Dad, but he was adamant that Bolt would be able to manage it. I didn't want to let Dad down, but I didn't want to hurt Bolt either. I needed time to think about it. As I left the room, I gave a petrified jump. There, in front of me, was a stone-faced Mrs. Allen. She grabbed my arm and yanked me into another room. You can't compete in the races. These are different from your usual amateur events. You're not good enough, and you'll only embarrass our family. Were you eavesdropping on my conversation with Dad? Listen, you're not my mother, so you can't tell me what to do. I will surely join it. Then I stormed out of there. Early in the morning of the first race, I was going to the stables to check on Bolt when I caught 2 of Mrs. Allen's servants sneaking out of there. What were they doing here? I went to investigate and... This is not Bolt! What has Mrs. Allen done to my horse? Right at that moment, Mr. Allen walked in with the vet. I told him what I'd just seen and he muttered out, "That woman dares to get in my way, huh? I'll make sure she'll pay for it this time." Then he turned to me and said, "Leave it to me. I'll find Bolt. Go get some rest and prepare yourself for the race." I'd never seen him this stern before, so I just nodded in concern. Despite all the drama, I still managed to bring home the Grand Shields Championship title. It's amazing, right? However, I couldn't fully enjoy the victory as one thing was still lingering on my mind. Mrs. Allen has been absent for the last 4 days. Could it be that Dad has done something to her? Hey, Judy, did Mrs. Allen say she was going somewhere? Dad told me that Mom's been so stressed lately, so he arranged for her to go to Aunt Anna's villa to rest. Oh, it seemed like what Dad said at that time was just an expression of anger. At least I had one less thing to worry about. You see, my main concern at the moment is Bolt, as his health has clearly deteriorated since the previous race. The vet says he's doing fine, but through Bolt's heavy breathing, I know something isn't right. A week passed by and the day of the second tournament finally arrived. While the vet was checking on Bolt before the race, Dad suddenly pulled me outside. "We must win today's match. I expect a lot from you." I had a bad feeling about this somehow, but I still nodded and assured him that I would do my best. The race was about to begin. Everything's in check. I'm ready for it. But wait, why does Judy look so flustered? Maddie, Mom was not on a trip. The storage room. Dad locked her there because she found out what he was up to. He's doping Bolt. What is she talking about? Could it be that the vet who came in earlier was drugging Bolt then? But no way. If there's anyone wanting to harm me and Bolt, it's Mrs. Allen, not Dad. Listen, Mom only swapped Bolt the other time to protect you. Before I could shape what happened, I saw a burly man covering Judy's mouth and pulling her away. Then a voice whispered in my ear, "Only one game left. Just keep your mouth shut and do it properly. If you lose, I can make things very uncomfortable for you and your grandparents. Got it? Now get on the horse." A chill ran down my spine. I felt like I was gonna vomit. How could the caring, kind man I called Dad turn out to be such a fraud? The signal of the match rang out. Ugh, what should I do? I couldn't let that wicked man get what he wanted. So I closed my eyes and stayed put. "What do you think you're playing at? Run! Run now!" Mr. Allen went crazy and rushed over to me. But right at that moment, the organizer appeared and asked me to take Bolt for a health check. They led Bolt away and brought me and Mr. Allen to the office, where I was shocked to see a frantic-faced Mrs. Allen cuddling Judy. It turns out that Judy had freed her mom from the room Mr. Allen had locked her in. Then she'd come straight here and handed the organizers incriminating paperwork of her husband's corrupt doings. Mr. Allen glared at me and shouted,
I had to raise you without any benefits just because of her. Now it's your turn to pay me back."
Then he immediately charged at me, but Mrs. Allen quickly covered for me and pushed him away, and one of the race organizers restrained him. "Don't you dare harm my daughter." "Huh? Daughter?" Mrs. Allen looked at me with tear-soaked eyes. "Sweetie, please give me a chance to explain." I fidgeted the coffee cup in my hand and stared at the ground while Mrs. Allen told me her side of the story. Turns out she really is my biological mom. Could you believe that? After my dad passed away, in her vulnerable state, she fell for Mr. Allen's forced charm and fake words. But he soon showed his real face and heartlessly separated me and my mom after they married. That's why she could only secretly send money to our farm under Mr. Allen's name. Mom also recognized me from the beginning, but she didn't say anything as she knew that Mr. Allen adopted me just to get Bolt, a horse that could help him win some shady bettings. If I knew the truth and rebelled against him, he would harm me. I'm so sorry for all these years, especially these past few months. It has been extremely hard for me, having to treat my dear daughter so badly. But that was the only way to push you away from him, from this rotten house. I didn't want you to be in danger, just like how your real dad was when he worked for him. Please forgive me, Matilda. Tears kept rolling down my cheeks. Turned out, I always had a mother protecting me. Mom pulled me in for a tight hug. Mom! I hugged my mother tightly. I really love and miss you. Please forgive me. I looked up to her and smiled. Of course, yes. I'm more than happy to have you back in my life, Mom. And the best sister I could ever